Good evening. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with Weather Now, Kentucky. We're going to begin our live coverage. Let me fix that camera real quickly. We're going to begin our live coverage here as some storms are beginning to get more mature out there in western Kentucky, and these will continue to track east and produce some stronger to severe thunderstorms that can produce all modes of severe weather. So once again, if you're joining in just now, I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster, here with WNK. We do have an alert day out, as well as the National Weather Service issuing a tornado watch, as well as a severe thunderstorm watch for some folks. So we'll get all that information covered for you. This is going to be the beginning of our live coverage for this event. Hopefully, it's not a long one, but you know how that goes. Sometimes on nights like this, these things can carry on a little bit longer than they should. Sometimes they can die down a little bit faster than they should. All that said, I do think we're not looking at a substantial threat for tonight. However, it's a threat that we need to respect because these things can be a little bit tricky. Up in Indiana, it's performing really well up there. Then down here toward Kentucky, our line is just now starting to get mature and starting to get going out there. Let's see here. Yeah, one last thing is, of course, please, someone reminded me there, tap the share button at the bottom portion of your screen. Sharing this broadcast is super important. One, it lets a lot of folks know that we're live and we're ready to go with live coverage here wall to wall. And number two, it keeps your friends and family informed and up to date on what to expect. And it's really easy to share it to your news feed so that your friends and family can view it. I would appreciate that, and I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. So thank you to those folks that I'm already seeing do that and doing their part. I appreciate all the likes and whatnot. Again, if you're just not tuning in here, let's go ahead and take a look around the radar here. We're going to show you the newest model data, the current conditions, all that good yada, yada, yada. And then we're going to stay live here for you throughout the duration of this event or until we feel like it's dying down enough to where we don't have to be alive anymore. Currently in Kentucky, we do have one severe thunderstorm warning. I'll go ahead and read this bulletin for you. It is going to be for Caldwell, Hopkins, Webster, and Lyon counties out in western Kentucky until 7:30 p.m. Central Time. The hazard is 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and up to 1-inch diameter hail, aka quarter-sized hail. There are going to be, I think, several warnings tonight. I do want to kind of point this out before we kind of get going here. There are going to be several warnings tonight that are going to have a tornado possible tag on it. So I think that anytime we see a severe thunderstorm warning pop up, we need to treat it as if it's a tornado warning. Again, that's not to scare anyone, but a lot of times I kind of hate the severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it because it just doesn't make much sense to me. But nonetheless, I think tonight it's a good bet. Anytime we see a yellow box, we pop up, we treat it like it's a red box. So just kind of point that out there. I do want to point out, kind of zoom out here just a little bit. You see all the activity stretching. This line is starting to form now and congeal more into a line here. So this tells me that we're already transitioning to more of a damaging wind and large hail threat, with a couple of spin-up tornadoes possible throughout about 11 p.m. Eastern time tonight. In pink is your tornado watch is out until midnight, and in the yellow here is a severe thunderstorm watch that's out until midnight. I don't really expect these to get expanded anywhere more than what they currently are. You might see, like, for example, Frankfort, Lawrenceburg, Bloomfield, Bardstown, Springfield, Harrodsburg. This little corridor here might get added to the severe thunderstorm watch eventually down the road. That said, that in its own right looks a little bit unlikely. By the time these get to I-65, they're starting to strengthen, and they will continue to strengthen until they get to I-65. And then once they get to I-65, which, by the way, is basically from Louisville down to Glasgow, Bowling Green, so on and so forth, right? By the time it gets there, almost right when it gets there, it will rapidly weaken. Very, very, very rapidly. All right. If you're looking for forecast information on what to expect out the night, we quite literally just did a broadcast on that, maybe about an hour and a half ago. So there's all kinds of fresh information on our YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook on what to expect. So if you're looking for anything, forecasting wise, is what to expect for tonight, all that information is there. What this broadcast is for is more for live coverage of what's actually happening. We've spent the last 2 days kind of just prepping everybody on forecasting information. Now it's more about casting what's actually happening here. All right, I do want to take a real quick look here. I'm going to turn these watches off real quickly. And thank you again to everyone that's sharing the broadcast. Usually you all share a lot more than what's being shared right now. There's not very many shares on there, but I appreciate everyone that's doing that because you're helping to keep folks safe and informed and updated on what to expect. And I genuinely think if I showed you guys the amount of messages that we get from people sharing the broadcast and other folks finding us, you'd be surprised by how much you guys actually help. So I appreciate everyone that's doing that and everyone that's in here hanging out with us and trusting WNK throughout tonight. Once again, I don't think tonight is anything super overly impressive. I just think still a level of threat that we have to respect, and a pretty sneaky one. Not a whole lot of coverage was going on about this, except for us and a couple other folks. So it's kind of more of a sneaky one. I'm just trying to see here real quickly. We're looking for any type of rotation. I don't see any type of rotation, but I do see a burst of winds up here toward Providence, Kentucky. That will head out toward Slaughter, Seabury, and Calhoun here shortly. These storms aren't moving very incredibly fast. They are moving, I believe, at about a speed of 45 to 50 mile per hour, which is pretty standard for a cold core setup like this. We do have another severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of the Ohio River there. I believe that's probably going to be for 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch hail, which it is. That's going to be the common theme tonight. Again, I don't think it's anything overtly impressive, but we will have brief periods throughout the night that... What in the world? Hold up, I got to ban somebody real quick. Glad I saw that. Don't click on any links that we do not put in the chat, by the way. You got these people on the internet that have nothing better to do besides put weird links out there. So don't put any links out there unless you see our profile picture attached to it. I will say, though, this cell out here in Princeton is starting to get a lot of lightning around it, and it's got that deep purple core there. This is pretty indicative of a cell that's beginning to strengthen, and you've also got to notice here that it's got a gap between it, right? So you have all this in the line up here. Sorry if you hear my dog, by the way. But you have all this in the line up here. It's got to spread its energy throughout that entire line. But you have this very southern side here. It's going to have this gap almost all night. I don't think this is really going to connect for a while here. And it may just go ahead and suck this one up and just put it in there as well. But I don't think it's really going to connect the line. So this southern side is the side that we're going to have to watch throughout the night, I believe. And so to kind of put that in perspective, I'm going to pull out the drawing tool here for you and kind of show you where this is probably going to head throughout the next several hours here. What color do we want to use? Let's use pink. Because it stands out the most. So I'm just going to kind of draw. This one's going to try and head a little... That's a terrible line. I am very bad at drawing. Very, very bad at drawing. This one's going to head a little bit out here. Let's go ahead and draw this. This is going to be the corridor for this little cell here that we're going to have to watch throughout the night. It's going to pulse up and down. It's going to pulse up and down. So it's going to be weaker, get stronger, weaker, and get stronger. And this is the one, since it's on the southern side of the line, it could have a bit more spin to it. Rotation does not automatically mean tornadic activity, but it does mean the potential for rotating storms. And rotating storms can indicate, downburst of damaging winds. It can indicate perhaps larger hail briefly, and it could also indicate tornadic activity. So that's that part of the line I think we're going to have to watch very closely there. I'm going to kind of click over here. We've also got these cells that are trying to jump or kind of lean a little bit out in front in Seabury and Calhoun on the southern side of Daviess County. And as that trends to the northeast, we'll have to watch that because this might lean far enough out to where it gets a bit separated. Some of the model data has been showing that pretty consistently. So we're pretty much going to have to watch basically where the tornado watch is now. And you've also got this cell, this little part down here, down toward Murray, that's going to track up to its northeast. And you'll have to watch that one. Again, the drawing's not going to be perfect here. So if you're asking about the drawings, don't worry. It's not going to be perfect. Just take a general area of what you see around or inside of the circle. All right. I'm not Bob Ross here. But you got 3 individual areas that we're kind of watching. Once again, this cell here, that cell there toward Seabury, and then this cell down here toward Murray. And as he's tracked toward the I-65 corridor, could pulse up and down, bringing risk of, quick spin up tornado on the weaker side of things. Could produce, briefly larger hail, as well as wind gusts up to 70 mile per hour. So once again, just want to remind everyone that we're not looking at a substantial threat for tonight. Nothing like we saw for the potential, anyway, of Saturday. But it's still a threat that we have to respect and kind of go through the night here with you guys. I'm going to send you a Cubs banner to replace your Reds one. Absolutely not. I will burn it. I'm just kidding. I'm not that crazy. With happy little trees. What about LaRue County? Again, I'm not going to get into all the backyard questions tonight, guys, because that, quite honestly, we have spent the last two days prepping everyone on what to expect, and we quite literally just did a broadcast where we did answer backyard questions, where we did go through every single threat and where we expect everything to be the greatest and timing and all that. We broke all of that down. So if you're looking for all that information, simply go to our Facebook or Twitter, scroll back to the last video we did an hour and a half ago, and I promise you all that information is going to be in there. This broadcast is more so about the immediate threats that are going to be upcoming, as well as briefly looking into the future. I just want to put that out there at the very beginning of the broadcast so we can set the expectation correctly. And you know, usually I would, but again, it ends up just being answering the same question several times, and then it becomes a spam fest. I'm trying to moderate things a little bit better here. By the way, I want to give a quick shout out to my buddy Cam at Telecast Communications, who's allowing us to use their camera network in LaRue County and potentially some more places he's trying to work on right now to get us some more cameras to look at tonight as well. So we'll be able to have an actual live view of what to expect. And real quickly, I kind of messed this up. Well, not messed it up, but I meant to, let me copy this. Y'all are going to see the behind the scenes real quickly. So paste that into there. We will do this. Okay. And then pull that down there. Boom. And that should be a picture of weather-wise of the actual radar, but for some reason I messed that up because I'm very good at messing this stuff up. I am very good at messing this stuff up. 1 second, let me just clean this up real quickly. What is this one? Oh, that's the clock. Okay. And then what we'll do is, oh, there's the window capture. Why is it not working then? What am I capturing? Yeah, it should be capturing weather-wise. Yeah, there we go. And then just scoot that down. Not below the media capture. There we go. Now we've got it. We'll be able to flip back and forth. So again, he's going to work on getting us some more cameras, and we're actually working on, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we're working on something that might be going statewide for something like this. Going to be a lot more to it, and I can't wait to talk to you guys about it more in the future. Looks great. Thank you very much, and I can't wait to talk about it more with you in the future. But it's a very exciting time because we're actually going to be able to do things on a different level for you guys. I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it's a very exciting time for us to be able to give you guys more heads up on things. I want to talk about it so bad, but I don't want to get in too much trouble. So I think we're gonna watch this cell a little bit harder down here. This one's going to be tracking toward Madisonville and Muhlenberg County, down toward Morton's Gap and west from Muhlenberg County, I should say. Gonna watch this cell because it's getting that lightning. It's getting those lightning strikes to it. And anytime you see an abundance of lightning strikes like this on the southern side of a line, it typically indicates that this portion is starting to get stronger. So I think we need to watch this cell very closely. This could be the first one to produce something on the more severe side. Do see wind gusts starting to kick up there. By the way, WeatherWise has now issued an update where now all the wind speeds are in miles per hour instead of meters per second. So WeatherWise is making some even crazier advances. 67 mile per hour rating there, so we might have to upgrade this warning from the National Weather Service to 70 mile per hour, which would make this a critical or a more substantial warning. Going to be close. Let's watch that a little bit closer. So just heads up Madisonville down to Arlington, Morton's Gap, along I-69 there. Heads up, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds are going to be headed to your location here in probably about next 10 minutes or so. We do have that severe warning just to the north of the river there. So that one's going to stay out of Kentucky, but this one may track toward downtown Louisville, maybe more the metro Louisville side. So heads up to my friends up there in Louisville. About an hour or so, you might have a strong to severe thunderstorm there. And this one is 60 mile per hour winds for that location. And again, we're going to watch these cells as they continue to push to the east because I think this line, as it heads east, will actually continue to strengthen until it gets to about the I-65 line there, and then it will rapidly die down. You'll see it rapidly die down. So do you guys like the cameras, the idea of the cameras, and the potential for them to be throughout the entire state? Again, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect of the night, we quite literally just did a video on that. So go watch that for me if you will. Help free up some of the space here for some more of the immediate threats, immediate questions. It's on our Facebook and YouTube. And we also have written posts if you don't want to watch the video. We also have written posts. So we have all of that information on our pages, when you should expect things, what you should expect, where you should expect it. For sure, we love that. Cameras are a great idea. Just look at the ones in Tennessee sometimes to get an idea of what to expect. And that's the whole idea, is that sometimes, of course, radars are going to be a little bit delayed to what's actually happening because it has to send that beam out and come back. No matter how great a radar is, it's going to be a few minutes delayed, right? And sometimes when storms go into certain radar gaps or go into a radar, you can lose that storm for a little bit. Having those cameras is going to have the ability to never lose a storm, be able to see what's coming before the radar can see it, and increase the response times to things. And by the way, I'm not quite sure. I wish the NWS would make multiple watches, because by the way, once this storm line passes you, your threat's done. It's just this one line. It is just this one line. All right. So I know the tornado watch technically goes till all the way till midnight Eastern time, but like for example, Henderson, Morganfield, Sturgis, Marion, Calvert City, Benton, Murray, who are all included in that watch till 11 p.m. Central time, you're already done. So this is why I wish we would make more precise watches. I understand why they don't, because it would be a lot of extra time. But if we're talking about accuracy speaking, I wish we would. Because, for example, it is just this one line. So for those asking that, hey, is it? I mean, we got to watch till midnight. Is there going to be multiple rounds? No, it is just this one line. Yes, George, cameras are a great idea. Thank you. Appreciate your feedback there. Yeah, this thing is tracking. By the way, again, just to remind you, this is tracking northeast at about 45 to 50 mile per hour. I want to say real quickly once more, thank you for all the likes and shares and new subscribers, new followers. You guys are already running the numbers up. I appreciate you guys, especially for the shares. Those are really going to help a lot of folks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to take a look back at on this one in Owensboro. Almost looks like it's outflowing a little bit. Do have a little bit of rotation there, but it's not in a good spot. So I'm not really worried about it too much right now. Looks like it's more of just a straight line, maybe a little bit of a downburst occurring there. I wouldn't be surprised to see a warning for Daviess counties and just east here very soon for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's check back in on this one back down here toward Arlington, where we're starting to see some more deeper radar returns. Nothing really rotating there yet, but I bet you the hail threat's going up there. It's exactly the case. The hail threat is going up there. I bet you, did they change this warning yet? Okay, they probably should change this warning, because this is probably likely approaching 1.5 inch diameter hail, which is almost ping pong ball sized hail there. So it's not warned for it yet, but hey, Madisonville, Arlington, Morton's Gap, just a heads up. Within the next 15 minutes, this storm will be in your location, and this will produce a hail threat of up to 1.5 inches, and it will also produce a wind threat of up to 65 to maybe even 70 mile per hour. So this is our first, more on the damaging side of severe weather warning of the night so far. And again, we expect these to continue through about the 11 p.m. Eastern time frame there. Okay, I'm going to start muting spammers. Please do not spam your locations. I've already mentioned that you can look at our previous post and videos that we just did less than 2 hours ago to see all the information on what to expect, where to expect, when to expect it. All right. What I will do though, real quickly, is kind of show you where the current watches are set up, and this is kind of the current areas and the really the only areas where I expect severe weather to occur. I don't expect these watches to be expanded anymore. So if your area is not highlighted or shaded, or you do not see your area on the map, you are not included in a severe threat for tonight. You will still see thunderstorm activity, might still end up seeing some higher wind gust, but should avoid the severe level or a severe limits, I should say. So again, if you're not included in any of these colors here, I do not expect a severe threat for you, but you can still see a stronger thunderstorm throughout the overnight hours. So just wanted to kind of point that out once again there for you. Again, all of this information is on our Facebook and Twitter. The maps are posted. You guys can view them there and zoom in and see exactly where everything's at there. But for this, the purpose of this broadcast is going to be to actually cover the immediate and imminent threats. We've already done all the forecasting parts. And again, that's not to be rude or anything, but it's to focus more so on what's actually happening. And when we start getting into the backyard questions, they just get spammed and spammed and spammed, and then we can't get to the real emergency questions. about Louisville's game tomorrow. I feel good about it. I feel good about it. Someone asked about perhaps looking at the future here. I don't look at future radar, but I will show you the newest model data that's coming through now, and kind of show you and take you throughout the night real quickly while we don't have any like significant warnings out. I want to check before that. Did they update this morning yet? Yes, they did. They just updated this morning. Tornado is now possible in this morning. I told you guys this is likely what we're going to see tonight. I don't think we'll see too many technical tornado warnings. Well, we will see a lot tonight, and I hate these, but this is what they do to cover their butts. We'll see severe thunderstorm warnings with a tornado possible tag on it. So again, this has been updated to include that tornado possible tag, as you can see up there in the very top portion of your screen there. And it does include Madison, or just before Madisonville, but it will eventually include Madisonville, Arlington, Morton's Gap, Barnsley, Fiddlebow, Highway 1337 out there in west central Kentucky. And this is kind of something we've been watching. It's going to get a little bit more rotation to it. It's been more of a hail threat than anything, but the hail is starting to go down. So that kind of tells us this may either be fizzling out for a minute. Again, these will pulse up and down. Or it's starting to cycle to be more of a surface-based storm, which is going to be more of a tornadic threat. Deborah became a member on YouTube. Thank you very much for that support. I appreciate that. Are the stars working on Facebook yet? I messaged our Facebook manager to see if they could work on that, but for some reason the stars haven't been working on Facebook. Someone told me about it the other day. Okay, here's the future model before we start getting into more warnings, because I think we'll see more warnings pop up. So I just want to kind of point this out to you. This is valid for 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. And you can see at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, you see how all that rain begins to kick up. That tells us that this begins to outflow as it becomes more of a rain and just casual thunderstorm threat past I-65. And you'll see those colors begin to weaken, and just completely fizzles out. So genuinely, for Lexington, Somerset, Pikeville, out there in eastern Kentucky, not really seeing a threat for you tonight. So you folks can enjoy your night. So you're going to see thunderstorms. They're going to be loud. They're going to probably be vivid with a lot of lightning. But as for the actual real severe threat, that's pretty much limited to where the actual watches are right now. I think where the watches are now are in a great spot. All right. So I really do not feel like they're going to be, expanded. No, they're not working. I don't know what is going on with that. Thank you for letting me know. I'll continue to look into it. I'm gonna go ahead and do this before people start to help me about it, because you guys are too nice. I'm gonna put that there. My internet is like not really wanting to do anything tonight. There we go. Again, you do not have to donate or anything like that, but I know every time we get into these broadcasts, people ask, and I appreciate y'all's kindness, but remember, you do not have to. All right. I don't know why the stars aren't working. I can't figure that out. I know you guys love to send stars, but I don't know why they're not working. No star options. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. Because it's enabled, and I have no violations. I have no idea. All right. Maybe it's probably just a glitch. No one, we'll go ahead and restart the radar here. Gonna get us a fresh look there. So again, up in Indiana, north of the river is actually where the best threat of severe weather is. This is what we've been saying for the last 2 days, and that seems to be becoming the case up there. I do think we'll see some more warnings begin to pop off here in Kentucky, but I think our threat is much lower when compared to Indiana. Look back in on the storm here. Yeah, so once again, just a heads up to Madisonville, Arlington, going along to Hanson, Kentucky, out there in west central portions of the state. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds and perhaps some quarter-sized hail is involved with this severe thunderstorm coming to your area. This warning has also been tagged. Sorry, my grammar's terrible tonight. Has also been tagged with a tornado possible on it. So just a heads up on those to those folks right there. And again, Madisonville, Arlington is going to be the next cities up for that. If this storm continues, it would likely track toward Livermore, Calhoun, And then, of course, Hartford, Beaver Dam may clip the northern portions of, or southern portions of Meade and Breckenridge counties, as well as the northern portions of Grayson County, and then eventually going up to northern portions of Hardin, Bullitt, and southern portions of Jefferson County, if, of course, it holds together that far. I mean, can't see if I could see in the future like that, I would be placing bets on March Madness, but I'm not. So, Pro Ranto, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, this one's starting to get a little bit more spin or a little bit more wind speed on the southern side. I really want to say, hey, Madisonville, Earlington, Anton, Phi, Sacramento, just go ahead and get in your safe spots. I don't think this is spinning yet, but this one has been trying to spin for a while here, at least the last 10 to 15 minutes. So I just want to kind of give an early heads up here, just and it's really want to get that hook. You can kind of see it. It hasn't quite done it yet. You can see it's trying to get the hook. If we start to see more of curvature like that on the bottom side of this cell, we have a problem. We have a problem. All right. So again, just a heads up. It's not doing it yet, but we've been watching this cell for like the last 10 to 15 minutes here, and even before we got on the broadcast, I was watching it all the way back out. I believe it was Benton, Kentucky, where it came from. That is correct. We've been watching it ever since it was there, and it's been trying the entire way to really get rooted. It has not really done it yet. But I mean, if it gets rooted, it's going to produce. It's going to produce. I do want to check real quickly, just kind of look at. I know this is not going to make a whole lot of sense to you guys. I'm sorry about that. I just want to check. The one thing that we may have working with us, which sounds very ironic here, this is called bulk shear. So what we're looking at right now on our screen is bulk shear. Typically, you need this, obviously, for severe weather. But sometimes you can have too much. And tonight we're looking at about 90 knots of bulk shear, 80 to 90 knots throughout a lot of this. That's a lot of shear. That is a lot of shear. Usually that's shear that we see involved with the winter time, not necessarily the spring. That is a lot of shear. Sometimes when you get too much shear, it can rip the inflow of storms apart. So basically, storms that are trying to find that balance, because when a tornado occurs, or when a supercell occurs, or when a storm occurs, that is actually the environment trying to balance out the column. If you can take your imagination and make a column of air all the way from our ground, all the way up into our atmosphere, stratosphere, so on and so forth, right? When there's imbalance in that column, severe weather happens because that our environment's trying to strike that balance back. So that's what's going to occur during severe weather. Whenever you have too much shear, that balance, the storm will try to find that balance, but the shear is going to rip it apart before it actually is able to strike that balance. So sometimes you can have, I know that's there's a lot going on there, and I probably didn't explain it in the greatest way because it's quite complex to understand. But it's if you have too much shear, it's almost like your fan's too high. Like if you have a fan on in your room and it's too high, it can blow something over, right? If it's perfect, it's perfect. But if it's too high, it can blow something over. I know I'm probably messing that analogy up somewhere. But all in all, one thing we can probably hope for tonight is that the shear is just way too fast, and it rips a lot of these inflows apart, so these storms really can't get rooted to the ground. That's the hope. Whether that occurs or not, I have no idea, but it's something that we've noticed, and really starting to really notice the wind speeds kicking up on the southern side of this. This might be up to 70 mile per hour winds, and it is. 70 mile per hour winds in Barlington to Barnsley, just north of Morton's Gap there. You can see it right there, highlighted 72.7 mile per hour from our WeatherWise radar. Up toward Madisonville, it's going to strike the southern side of your city there and head off right towards Sacramento, Kentucky. Again, this is 70 mile per hour with 74 mile per hour winds is technically hurricane force winds. So you're talking about a storm that's producing near hurricane force winds right now. It's very, very close. And it's really wanting to get that hook. It's really wanting to get that hook. If it can separate a little bit more from this mess down here, meaning this pulls a little bit more north while this pulls a little bit more east, we'll have to really, really, really watch this. Yeah, and the AI this is StormNet AI. It is exactly what it sounds like. It tries to predict. Of course, it's artificial intelligence, so it might be a little inaccurate from time to time. But I have found that this has actually been a pretty accurate software here. and it is trying to start picking up the tornado threat in west to central Kentucky. It's not obviously as impressive as these nice colors up here in Indiana and eastern Illinois, but it is starting to pick up that, or starting to increase the threat or potential or probability, if you will, of a tornado being produced from one of these storms. So again, just all accounts point toward this trying to get going here. It's trying. What's happening though is you have this down here that's trying to influence it as well. And of course, you have so much shear out here. This is a pocket where we saw 90 knots of shear, and there's that severe warning up there toward Owensboro. We mentioned this might be coming here as we've been watching this line up here get a little bit stronger, and there goes the warning. This is probably going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds, which it is, and this is going to be for Spencer, Daviess, Henderson, and McLean counties in northwestern Kentucky. And it's going to be moving at, oh wow, only 35 mile per hour to the northeast, so a rather slow storm here on the slower side of things. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and this is a spotted. This is actually been spotted. This is not radar indicated. This is trained weather spotters that have spotted this. So this is actually happening, not just radar indicated. So this is a genuine threat there. Again, this is going to be for Owensboro along I-165 there. Whitesville, zooming in a little bit further here to Mosleyville, Panther, Guffey. It's in Cleopatra, Wayman, St. Joseph, Sorgo, Rome right now. And this is going to continue to move northeast. And this is the cell. This is the part of the line where we said, hey, Louisville, heads up. This is going to be coming to your location here in about an hour and a half. So I want to put our folks up there in Louisville, just let them know if they're watching. In about an hour and a half, this part of that line is going to make it to you. And this entire line now, with the exception of Madisonville, which I do expect that this probably gets warned here soon as well. You can kind of zoom this out here and tell from Seymour, Indiana, all the way down to Princeton, Kentucky, it is now warned. So remember, when we first started this broadcast, we only had one warning in Kentucky, only a couple warnings up in Indiana. Now this is really beginning to ramp up. And this is about the area that we drew, that we told you guys, hey, from Owensboro to basically to Radcliffe, E-Town, out toward Madisonville, this is the area where we expected the bulk, the primary threat to really take hold. And then again, once this gets to I-65 here and gets past it, like toward Mount Washington, Bardstown, Loretto, Marion County, Campbellsville, Greensburg, once it gets to those areas and then due to points east there, that's when it will rapidly, and I do mean rapidly, weaken. I want to take a check back in down on this Madisonville storm. Make sure this isn't rotating yet. Go to the Trenton radar here. Don't see anything there yet. Surprised they haven't advanced this warning, though. And it's becoming, look at this, it's becoming to get more split. Remember, if I could take this back and maybe pause it a little bit here. See how close this was starting to get. See how close it got there. And now it's splitting off. You can tell this one's moving more north, this one's moving more east. And again, I just want to reiterate, if you are looking for, what is this? Again, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect throughout the night, make sure you go check out our video that we posted earlier, or look at our post on Facebook and YouTube or on Twitter, and you'll be able to see all of the information on what to expect throughout the night here. This broadcast is more for what's actually happening. We've already spent the time forecasting throughout the day there. They have already expanded this warning to now include Hardinsburg, Cloverport, Fordsville, Hawesville, Tell City, Leopold, Indiana, so on and so forth. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds and very small hail. And again, once again, this is for Meade County, Hancock County, Breckinridge counties, and Ohio counties in northwest, north central Kentucky there. And again, this warning goes for the next 35 minutes. So again, you kind of take your eyeballs and kind of see for yourself. This is tracking toward northern Hardin County, Jefferson County, Bullitt County, so on and so forth. So once again, you kind of use your own eyeballs there and just kind of follow the polygon path here, follow the edge here, and just kind of look, and you can kind of see it's going right toward the north central portions of the state. So hey, listen, E-Town, Radcliffe, Brandenburg, Hardinsburg, Louisville, Mount Washington. Again, going back out even toward Beaver Dam, Central City. Go ahead and put your devices on charge. Go ahead and, have those flashlight batteries, weather radio batteries going. Again, 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gust, even if you don't see a tornado, is plenty enough to knock down power lines, knock down trees over on the power lines, so on and so forth. I do want to ask real quickly once more, since things are beginning to pick up a little bit, please, if everyone could share the broadcast, at the bottom portion of your screen there's a share button. Just simply put it on your news feed. It takes 3 seconds to do. That's going to help keep folks informed and updated on what to expect, and make sure that everyone knows what's going on. For some reason, there has not been much coverage on this storm system, so we want to make sure we're reaching as many people as possible. And again, Caitlin, we'll get to that area when that storm line gets a little bit closer to you. Bluegrass Acres, hello, how are you doing? Thank you to everyone. I just saw an abundance of shares. Thank you to everyone for doing their part. I appreciate you guys. I have no idea why the sirens are going off in Henderson. Henderson's, for some reason, is always the place where those folks just hit the sirens. They just love to hit the sirens out there. No idea why. You kind of see for yourself, there's quite literally nothing happening in Henderson. All right? Once again, Owensboro, going up to Rockport, going down to Mosleyville, Panther, 60 to 70 mile per hour winds, the threat there. As that tracks to the east toward Cloverport, Hardinsburg, Whitesville, Irvington, so on and so forth. Down here toward Madisonville, I'm surprised this warning has not been expanded. Like, what are we doing here? Madisonville to Sacramento, Livermore. Even though this warning has not been expanded yet for whatever reason, I want to give you a heads up. 60 mile per hour winds. This was Small Hill. Definitely still possible for that part of the line there. Again, yeah, still seeing the hell core there and everything. I'm really not quite sure why this has not been expanded. Maybe my radar hasn't been updated yet. No, it just hasn't been expanded. I don't know what's happening out there. Let me check, make sure. Yeah, this warning has not been expanded. I'm not quite sure why it has not been expanded, but nonetheless, once again, Madisonville, nice little hell core going on there, probably 1 inch, maybe even 1.25 inches in diameter. That's going to head up towards Sacramento and Livermore, Kentucky. And again, producing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds along the way for those locations. I want to check the southern portion of this line now, just kind of make sure. Yeah, I don't see any rotation on down here. And the southern portion of this line is going to struggle a little bit because the better ingredients for severe weather are going to be more north you go. Usually it's opposite of that. Usually it's the more south you go, the better ingredients for severe weather. But today, the more north you go, the better ingredients for severe weather. Again, a little stray shower out here toward Bowling Green, Auburn, and so on and so forth. But just want to let our Bowling Green folks know that this is jumping in front of the actual main pool of energy. I do not expect this cell to become more severe, or to become severe, I should say. So just wanted to point that out there real quickly. I want to check the StormNet AI here. StormNet AI is picking up on a nice probability, over 50% of severe winds pretty much throughout all of this line of storms here. So we have a very good potential for severe winds to be occurring for everywhere from Columbus, Indiana, down toward Crofton, Kentucky. I don't know why this isn't warned right here. I don't know if it's glitched or yeah, I don't even see it on their main page. No idea why this isn't warned, but once again, I just want to reiterate: Madisonville, Sacramento, Calhoun, or Madisonville, Sacramento, Bremen, heads up. Of course, Madisonville's already going there. Sacramento and Bremen got a few minutes to prepare for perhaps a strong to severe thunderstorm heading toward your location, producing 60 mile per hour winds and Small Hill. Sirens were going off in Sacramento. Yeah, there should not be any sirens going off right now. Right now, there's no tornado threat in the state. Right now. Of course, that could change minute by minute, but right now, there's no tornado area. Murray's window for severe weather is already closed. And I do want to remind everyone that it's pretty much just this line tonight. So it's one of those nice threats. Yes, it's a threat, but it's one of those nice threats where, you know, when this line passes you, you know it's done. So it's one of those nice threats there. We will have storms on the front side and back side, but this line is bringing it. I want to show you real quickly. Look at the difference. So here's where the line has not hit yet. Eastern Kentucky, you've been dry all day. It's not a surprise I hear. But here's where the line has already hit. Look at the difference in dew points. So genuinely, once that line gets past you, you're pretty much done. You're pretty much done. It's wiping away every single bit of moisture that you can have. So it's once it really is just this line here. Again, if you are looking for forecast information on what to expect, we just completed a video on that just before this. Please go watch that. And again, that's not to be rude. It's just this broadcast and its purpose is to focus on the immediate and imminent threat areas. And we will highlight those as they come up. Do not worry. Your area will not be missed. But But we already posted several post updates today and several videos today, or one video and several posts today, highlighting the areas and when and what and where to expect it. Thank you, Ariel. It's Vanna. Yes, we are working on that, but I cannot talk about it too much just now. But yes, we are excited to get to work on the potential for the next initiative of severe weather coverage in our state that should have already been done. No, Margie. So I just want to kind of remind everyone, I'm not seeing any real pockets of rotation right now. Maybe a small bit of rotation up here toward Owensboro, but it's not in a favorable position, so I'm not too concerned about it at the moment. That probably just indicates some downburst of winds occurring, and that's probably why you see the warning there. But no real pockets of rotation right now. Maybe a small, brief one here for Nortonville to Daniel Boone, but again, that's probably not going to be in a favorable spot either, and it's not. This Cadiz sail looks a little bit more strong, if you will. Going to keep an eye on this part of the line here over the next little bit as it tracks east. A little bit too messy down here right now for any of these storms to really get going, though. So when you have a lot of this rain beginning to connect these gaps here, on a night like this, that begins to get a little bit too messy for these storms to really get going. But we'll keep an eye on that, of course. All right, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quickly. You guys continue to watch the radar here. I'm gonna put it into motion. Let you guys kind of see the. No, I'm just gonna leave a pause there. Really, the only threat right now is Owensboro. Again, Davis County down here toward Calhoun, Kentucky. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, the main threat there. But that's nothing too crazy for you guys. You guys have been through a lot worse than that. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. Lots of waters today, of course. I'm trying to do better on that. I'll be back here in just a moment. All right. Yeah, and Tabitha on YouTube makes a great point. I want to remind everyone this does not have the potential that Saturday had. This is more on your calmer side of severe weather. Now it's still severe weather, of course, so we have to respect the threat. But I just want to remind everyone: take a deep breath, relax. Don't have to be scared. I don't think we're looking at any significant tornadic activity tonight. Matter of fact, I don't think we're looking at a whole lot of tornadic activity tonight at all. So everyone just kind of breathe, relax a little bit. There's a lot of anxiety in the chats, and that's completely understandable. I just want you guys to know that we're not looking at a substantial threat tonight. We're really not. In all, this is a level 1 out of 5 risk for a lot of folks. Go ahead and refresh this. Level 1 out of 5 risk in green there. Level 2 out of 5 risk in yellow. That's it. We're not looking at a moderate or high or even the enhanced up here. This is not going to be a blow your doors off, end your life type of event. As long as you're listening and paying attention, you're good to go. You're good to go. Again, I just want to reiterate, this is not going to be a significant outbreak of historic proportions here. We're looking at a small severe threat tonight until 11 p.m. Eastern time or so. Couple tornadoes are possible, but they should not be significant. The main threat is going to be damaging winds up to 70 mile per hour, and those are going to be very isolated, very small, very brief, and then a potential medium hail threat. So I just want everyone to kind of just relax and just know it's not going to be anything of historic proportions here. It's going to be rough, it's going to be rowdy, but we're going to be here for you. And if you need any forecasting information, all that information on what to expect, where to expect, how to expect it, which way to expect it, every little thing that you want is in a video that we made about 2 hours ago on our Facebook and YouTube. There's also written posts on our Twitter and Facebook for you guys to go read whenever you would like as well. All of that information is on our page, so if you're asking about Albany, Kentucky, Lewisburg, Kentucky, Morgantown, Kentucky, my backyard, your front yard, their front yard, all that information is already on video and already on our page. So you guys can go look at that. It's already there for you to look at whenever you would like while you're taking a pee or whatever it might be. You know, hey, listen, it's all there. It's all there. So do not worry. It's going to be okay. Everyone take a deep breath. Everyone take a deep breath. I know we have a lot of anxiety in Kentucky because of what's happened the last 4 or 5 years here where we've just had several rounds of significant weather, but tonight is not that night. It is not. It's a threat that we have to respect and we have to forecast, but it's not a threat that's going to make the history books. Not by any means. All right? Hopefully that calms a lot of folks down there. So again, in Kentucky, specifically talking, not seeing any pockets of rotation here. Looks like just straight wall of winds. Do see a bit of brief elevated rotation here towards Sacramento. This probably just indicates a small hail core, though, which it does. A hail core here. This probably needs to be severe warned in Sacramento. Again, this is the same storm that came from Madisonville, Arlington. Have no idea why it's not warned. I cannot tell you. But hey, that's not up to me. I just want to give you an update. Livermore, Sacramento, Semaway Island, Calhoun, Kentucky. Maybe up to quarter-sized hail there, 60 mile per hour winds, the main threat in that area. I know it's not warned, but treat it like it's a severe warning. Stay indoors there. Again, I have no idea why it's not warned. But that's not for me to decide. Yes, Joseph, we are co-streaming. We are multi-streaming to YouTube and Facebook, so you can find us on YouTube and Facebook Live right now. Again, all the information on what to expect, when to expect it, where to expect it is already on our social media pages. I please ask that you go look at those things so that we can focus on more of the immediate threats right now. You want to look at the current dew points. And again, so I want to reiterate, it's pretty much just this one line to worry about. You can see the dew points where the lines are already gone throughout here in Western Kentucky is tremendously lower than what's happening in Central and Western Kentucky. So once this line goes through, your threat's pretty much over. StormNet is starting to pick up on a bit of a tornado chance out here for Owensboro, going toward Cloverport and Hardinsburg. Just wanted to let you know that. It's not a substantial threat right now, but it's starting to pick up on the perhaps potential of a tornado to occur over the next 20 minutes or so. And again, this is going to track up toward Cloverport, Brandenburg, Irvington, Hardinsburg, Whitesville, and Fordsville. And again, still no idea why the Sacramento storm is, and Livermore and Calhoun storm is not included in the warning. No rotation down here on the southern side, either for those folks in Hopkinsville, Crofton, Nortonville, to Lafayette, to Cadiz. No rotation down there either. Looks like a straight wall of winds up to about 45 to maybe 50 mile per hour and some small hail there. But no severe threat. Over here in Bowling Green to Woodburn, to Smiths Grove, to Auburn, no severe threat there. And this cell should remain just mainly rain and some light or some moderate winds. This is in front of the main pool of severe weather. So we do not expect this storm right here to go severe. Yeah, radar is still picking up on generally about 65-mile-per-hour winds going through Owensboro right now. So again, just kind of picking up on that there. The radar's still hinting at 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds for Daviess County. For this warning box here from Daviess County to Spencer County to Henderson and McLean counties. And then, of course, going over toward Hardinsburg, Irvington, and so on and so forth. And again, you guys can see all my opinions on what to expect tonight on our Facebook and Twitter. It's already there in video and post form for you guys to view whenever you would like. Again, Caitlin, nothing on the southern side looks too mischief right now. I forgot to make the post on Twitter about us being live. Crap. Back in on the sonic storms up here. That's a little bit more severe up here for northwestern Kentucky. Let's turn that tilt up one there. Don't see any rotation here at the moment. Radar is trying to pick up on. I wish I knew what these tracks were trying to pick up on. They're trying to pick up on something there. Those two are pretty old. This one's pretty old as well. But you see how this is just going more in a straight line? That's indications of a downburst of winds that are occurring just the east of I-165 there, going toward Knoxville and Whitesville, Kentucky. Looks like a nice 60-mile-per-hour wind gust there. I want to see if I can find a tornado warning to show you. Might be able to show you this one. This looks more like rotation. So once again, it's kind of some radar teaching here. Again, this looks more like rotation right here. And even this isn't really perfect. Is there a better example? Is there any other tornado warnings? No, of course not. But even this isn't all that great of a signature. What you're really looking for is a small, tight circle of inbound wind versus outbound wind. So opposite colors that are real small, real tight, and a nice bright circle there. And even again, that one doesn't look all that great up there for Columbus. So I just want to let you know we're not seeing anything like that right now. But I do want to keep an eye on this leading edge here. Sometimes you can get some radar signatures that are a bit harder to see. If we see something starting to cave in right here, this even if it's not bright and very vibrant and very classical looking, it could still indicate some rotation. But right now, I'm not seeing that. Again, I don't know why this isn't warned here. I genuinely don't know why. Is that Hellcore still there too? It's decreasing now finally. But again, Livermore, Kentucky. Just a heads up, Buell, Knuckles, Semi-Way Island. And there's the severe warning. I mean, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. New warning has just gone up. Let's go ahead and read the bulletin here. This is going to be for northwestern Grayson, southwestern Breckenridge, and central Ohio counties until 8:15 p.m. Central Time. The main threat is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. And again, that's going to be for Hartford, Beaver Dam, Centerdown, Horse Branch, Taffy, Shreve, Megan, Jingo, Heflin, and Roslyn. Or Rosen, Kentucky? I don't know how to say that. But you guys get my point there. Again, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust the main threat there. I don't know what took so long to get that warning to come out, but at least it finally came out there. So just want to give a heads up here in the near future. Irvington, Brandenburg, Ratcliffe, Elizabethtown, up toward Litchfield, Cadyville, even going into Louisville, Shively, Jeffersontown, Metro Louisville, so on and so forth there. This storm will be in your area in less than 1 hour. And again, right now, this entire line is producing 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and small hail. Again, don't see any real rotation right now. But wait, what is this? No rotation coming near Madisonville. I want to clear that up real quick. No rotation coming toward Madisonville. It is a nice wall of winds there in Daviess County. Anyone from Owensboro can tell me how it's looking out there in Knoxville, of course, safely. Let me know how it's looking out there. Confirm whether that's a nice burst of winds or what that is. I'm also starting to see that little notch and we were talking about. We might have a tornado warning come out here soon for Candleton, Cloverport, very far northern portions of Meade and Breckinridge County, or Meade counties there. Sorry about that. Very, very far northern portions. See, this is kind of what I was talking about here. So I'll point this here. This is another indication of rotation on some more on a lower scale. On a lower scale, I would say. So again, it's not a perfect, but you see how ideally in a perfect world how our world works, you would have a straight line right there. Okay. When you start seeing these little notches in like this, and then a nice bulge out with brighter colors behind it, that also can indicate weak rotation. So another little radar tip there for those of you that are wanting to learn radar. This could also, sorry about that, this could also indicate rotation. Now, it's not nearly as significant. It's not nearly as impressive, but that can also indicate some weaker rotation occurring there. The good news is there's a lot of rain on the front side of this. So it should be able to limit mostly what could happen there. What in the world is that noise? Special weather statements just mean strong storms. That's kind of what we've talked about. This is going to be a strong storm, but I do not expect it to be severe. Again, for those folks in Bowling Green, you are seeing a strong storm right now, but it is not severe. And again, just want to kind of recap where we're at right now. Severe warning stretching from Hardinsburg to Cloverport to Owensboro down toward Hartford to Livermore, Fordsville up there in northern Kentucky. Stronger storms, but not severe at this moment, stretching from Sacramento, Kentucky down toward Hopkinsville, going out here toward southwestern portions of the state. A stronger storm does exist in Bowling Green, but it is not severe and should remain non-severe. I'm going to also show you where we're at right now with the current tornado watch and severe thunderstorm watch. Yellow is the severe thunderstorm watch. Pink is the tornado watch there. This does go until midnight, but once this line gets past you, you should be dropped off as your threat really diminishes at that point. I do not expect that these warnings or these watches will be expanded. So once again, I do not expect that these watches will be expanded. If you want to see those maps for longer, those maps are on our Twitter and Facebook for you to view in post form. Strong winds in Clover Report. Thank you for that report there. I really appreciate the reports, guys. Thank you very much. So we do have a live look at LaRue County right now. Again, nothing happening there, but we'll be able to see these storms come into LaRue County, which is Hodgenville down here. So once these storms get a little bit closer, we'll actually be able to see them for the first time on camera there. Hopefully, we actually get some lightning to kind of light it up a little bit for us. Just forgive me while I'm looking at some things real quickly. Are these storms beginning to outrun? No, no, it hasn't updated yet. Okay. Updated this yet? No. Oh, where'd my radar go? There it is. Let's see what's going on inside my window real quick. What in the world is that? Only in Kentucky, man. Someone is literally mowing their grass across my street. What are we doing? Hardin County, Eaton area. Once again, please look at the forecast information that we've already posted on our Facebook and Twitter for information on what to expect for tonight. But once again, we've reminded everyone that Hardin County will have this storm in their area in about an hour. Someone's mowing their grass. First of all, there's no grass to mow. Nothing's alive. And number two, what are you doing? It's 9 o'clock at night. Man, mowing at this time is wild. Maybe in the summer you mow at nighttime to avoid all the heat, but like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Oh man, it must be following you. Yeah, yeah. They just updated the severe warning here. Just kind of shaved off the backside of it. Lisa with the $5 donation on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Gotta get this grass mowed before the big storm hits. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Chad. I don't know. These people are just getting bored, man. Just wait a couple more weeks. The grass will be there, folks. A couple more weeks, it'll be there. Trust me. There'll be plenty of mowing time. Look, I like mowing as much as the next guy, but listen, you're not going to catch me mowing before I actually have to. Yeah, Vanessa, that's yeah. Destiny said that. I'm not gonna say I was thinking it, but I was thinking it. All right. How can they see? I have no idea because there's not even any headlights on, and they don't have any lights on out there. Guess he's just looking for a fun time. I don't know. Near Livermore, we're actually about to check back in on the velocities here. Okay, no real spin or anything really going on down here on the southern side of the state. So just for those folks down there, not really seeing anything there. Let's go ahead and click up the radar up here. Some very brief or some very weak broad. What in the world? Whoever donated on the PayPal, thank you very much. I appreciate you. You guys don't have to donate though, I promise. Very weak elevator rotation here for northeast of Livermore, heading toward I-165 there. Probably indicating just a little burst of winds of up to 60 mile per hour there. Maybe some small hail still going there. Let's check the. Still a nice hail core going on there. Probably quarter-inch in diameter for Livermore, and that's again going to head off toward Hartford, Dundee, Falls of Rough, so on and so forth out there. You want to check back in on the storms up here to the north now. Still seeing that wall of winds there. I still think we might see. Does this have a tornado possible tag on it? It does not. Probably need to see an upgrade of this warning, either to a tornado warning or to a tornado possible tag. This will be just to the north of the river, but will eventually cross back over in toward Brandenburg and Irvington. So just a heads up for our friends there. Brandenburg and Irvington in about 30 minutes. This storm will be in your area and may produce some severe weather. We have warning stretching all the way from, really stretching all the way from almost Michigan down toward Kentucky there. Angelica, thank you for your $5 donation on YouTube. I appreciate that. Says, thank you, George. Thank you very much. Peace, Eyes, Helen, Gracie. Thank you, Bluegrass Acres. I appreciate that. Is it a lawnmower or a snowblower? Yeah, so this, I know what you're getting at there. The snow threat tomorrow is last I saw, it's not really there anymore. And I meant to make a post on that. Let me check while we have a second here. Because that's something I did forget to mention. Yeah, I mean, even if we do, it'll be extremely light, extremely light. So I'm not really seeing a whole lot there with that. Get back in here once again. I'm gonna check these wind measurements. 65, 62, 72. 61, 66, 69, 73, 76 mile per hour winds. Now, sometimes radars can overdo the wind gust a little bit, so don't take that 100% verbatim. But hey, listen, it's trying to spit out 70 mile per hour winds all the way from Tell City, Indiana, back down toward Owensboro. But this is probably just backflow right here. Probably not accurate on the Owensboro side. Yeah, that wouldn't be accurate. Again, just want to point out, hey, Brandenburg, Irvington, Hardinsburg, Cloverport, Fordsville, Hartford, Beaver Dam, Litchfield, Cadyville, Elizabethtown, Radcliffe, West Point, Louisville, Jeffersontown, Shively, Mount Washington, Bardstown, Hodgenville, heads up. Sometime within the next hour, this storm line will be in your area producing 60 mile per hour wind gust off and on, if not maybe even slightly more. We'll keep an eye on those folks here in the short range. So before a foot of snow, yeah, I think our wintry chances are pretty much done here, folks. By the way, if you guys couldn't tell by now. Now, of course, there's always some type of weird thing to happen in late March or early April where we get a cold shot and maybe a shot at some snow. But we've seen some warmer than average temperatures over the last almost 3 weeks now. So our soils and grounds are very warm. Again, someone asked about Madisonville, and I want to retouch on this. Once this line passes you, your threat is done. So just want to retouch on that real quickly. Again, Bowling Green has a strong thunderstorm ongoing there to Brownsville to Munfordville, but we do not expect this to be severe at all. Could be producing some nice wind gusts, but it won't be severe. No, Owensboro, this line is past you. So, like for Madisonville, your threat's done. Again, it's mainly just this one line tonight, guys. So very, very simple threat to follow tonight. Yes, Owensboro is done. Again, I'm starting to see a lot of the backyard questions pop up again, so I want to touch base on this once more. If you're looking for forecast information on what to expect, when to expect, where to expect it, how to expect it, so on and so forth, we made videos, we made posts on it. Check our Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube for information on that. We posted it just about 2 to 3 hours ago. And again, we've made updates since then as well. So if you're looking for information on what to expect throughout the night, of course, please go check out those things. Right now, we're focused on this broadcast on the immediate threats and imminent threats that are upcoming in the short range. Whereas the tornado watch, I will pull that up for you real quickly. Tornado watch is in pink. Yellow. The yellow is the severe thunderstorm watch. And again, I'm not really sure why they made all these areas out here toward midnight. Obviously, your threat's done. You can even tell by looking at the dew points there that are starting to go down. Your atmosphere is really worked over by this line of storms that are coming through. So no more real threat there. So again, once this line passes you, you're pretty much done. The tornado watch basically goes to about the I-65 line. And then, of course, the severe thunderstorm watch is up here from far northern Kentucky for this portion of the line as it reaches over toward that area. And again, severe thunderstorm watch in yellow. Pink is the tornado watch. Chances for a tornado anywhere in that pink zone, by the way, is 5%. So, no matter where you ask, the odds at a tornado occurring in that pink zone is about 5%. I can tell you right now that we have not seen one in Kentucky as of now. How do you look for the hell core on weather-wise? You go down here to the vertically integrated liquid, and the darker these colors are, the deeper the hell core. So, for example, this is probably about an inch in diameter hell right here. Once you start seeing those big whites and stuff pop up and the very deep purples begin to pop up, those are your bigger hell cores. So again, that's under vertical integrated liquid. I think I saw someone ask about that. So I want to draw a little circle here of where the next immediate threat is over the next 60 minutes. That's going to be these areas. Of course, I cut off. Whoops. Let me redo this. Pull it down a little bit. The accident cut off northern Kentucky. I didn't mean to. So again, that is these areas. Oops. And I made that too wide. See, the draw. That's why I hate drawing stuff, because it's just human error. So this is where the threat is over the next 60 minutes generally. Now, we may see a severe cell or two down to the south below this line, but this is where the general best threat is for the next hour, maybe hour and a half or so, maybe the next couple of hours. And again, the main threat is damaging wind gusts. Cannot rule out a spin up, a weak tornado or two, but right now the main threat is looked to be damaging wind gusts and some small hail. So again, pink circle, next area is up for a severe threat over the next 90 minutes. Thank you, Caitlin. I do want to pull this up. Thank you, Caitlin, for reminding me about this. This was just issued by the National Weather Service and Storm Prediction Center. This does indicate the same area that we pretty much just circled there, except for the southern side. Tornado and damaging wind threat may be maximized in the near term across Kentucky into northern middle Tennessee. And again, this does not automatically mean tornadoes are going to occur, obviously. This is just saying the threat, this is where it's going to peak. And then once this peak is met, you're going to watch these storms, they're going to die. Real fast, real fast. So, and again, this is the area we've been highlighting for in that last 36 hours here. This is the area we've been highlighting. This is where I felt that storms will really peak out, and then once they peak, they're dead. They're dead. So once again, thank you, Caitlin, for showing me this, or let me know that they put this out. I'm gonna get this posted onto our Facebook. So see, you guys are hearing me do it. You guys are hearing me do this. I'm posting all the updates to our Facebook and Twitter as well. You can go view those maps if you want. I don't know why there's sirens going off in Owensboro. There's no tornado threat there. In fact, your severe threat altogether is done. Want to check StormNet AI real quick. Nothing really crazy to write home about there. It is really starting to pick up on the severe wind threat, though. Really increasing their probabilities on the severe wind threat. That's where you see red. That is about a 75 to 80% chance of severe winds to occur. Severe winds is anything over 60 mile per hour. So again, it kind of shows you for yourself there. The threat is damaging winds with a lower end threat for tornadic activity. By the way, new SPC outlook just came out. Pretty much the same thing, trimmed off the backside there because that's where storms have already occurred. But again, the main threat, again, once it gets to about I-65, it's done, folks. Once it gets to about I-65 and then up here for, what is that, I-64 there? No, I-71? Am I losing my mind? I can't. Yeah, I-71. Again, once it gets to I-71 and I-65, the threat really drops off really quickly. What the SBC posted for tomorrow? No. Did I miss something? Yeah, you don't need to be in a storm shelter in Greenville. The forecast for tomorrow is the same as today. There must be a bug or something because the forecast for tomorrow should be the same as today. I can show you. I can show y'all real quickly. Yeah, see, there's no threat for Thursday at all. There's barely even any activity at all, except for maybe some snow on Thursday. But no, there's no. Must be a bug or something. What radar app am I using? WeatherWise radar app. You can go to weatherwise.app and either download it on your phone or use it in the browser. And yes, it is free, folks. There is a premium. There is a premium option too, which we have, of course. But it is the base is free, and there's a lot in the base, a lot. And there's the severe warning to come out for Hopkinsville. I was actually just about to go down there and check on that. Let's see here from a different radar. Yep, you can see the little notch there. Read the bulletin here. This is going to be from Muhlenberg, South Central Muhlenberg County, Christian County, Southeastern Trigg County, and Todd County in South Central and Southwestern Kentucky. The hazard is 60 mile per hour wind gusts down there. It's going to be for Hopkinsville to Pembroke to Elkton to Trenton to Lafayette. This is going to be for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Don't really see any hail occurring down here. They also don't have hail in the threat as well. So this is purely for 60 mile per hour wind gusts down there in South Central Kentucky. So we're starting to see the southern side of the line begin to wake up a little bit out here in South Central Kentucky. And again, for those folks in Brownsville, Horse Cave, Franklin, these storms right here on the eastern side will not be severe. You want to check back and see if there's any rotation out here toward, don't really see anything. No. And just to retouch on them, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Grayson, Breckenridge, and Central Ohio counties. That is also for 60 mile per hour wind gust and penny sized hail. You have another severe warning here. This is going to be for 60 mile per hour wind gust and 1 inch diameter hail as well. And again, this is going to be a very common warning type tonight. Kind of looking at some of our surface energies that we have going on at play here. I want to check the photographs real quickly. Yeah. So just for anyone that wants to like learn or know, this photograph right here, well, that one's not as favorable. Let's go back out here. Where did, of course, I messed up where I literally had it at. And of course, now I can't find it again. Are you serious? There we go. This photograph right here would support rotating storms. So we're very glad that nothing's really made it to the ground. Everything's been mainly elevated storms so far, which elevated rotation leads to damaging winds, and hail doesn't really lead toward tornadic activity. But you see how the winds go to the right as they go up into the atmosphere. This is the layers of the atmosphere and the speed. These are your layers of the atmosphere, I should say, as they go out of the web here. And as you go up into the atmosphere, the storms turn right. The winds turn right there. So that would indicate rotation is occurring. But thankfully, it's elevated rotation. This is leading more toward a wind threat than it is tornadic. Sorgel's tore up. Yeah, I think I measured a 65 to 70 mile per hour gust out there with Sorgel. Let me see. Is that west of like Owensboro? Yes, it is. I did measure 70 mile per hour wind gust out here, so I would not be surprised. So someone says Sorgo got tore up. This is again from the 70 mile per hour wind gust. So this lets you know that even if you see a 70 mile per hour wind gust threat come out tonight, treat it like it's a tornado warning because you can still get lots of damages. Bluegrass Acre, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Out of Gracie. Or out of South Central Kentucky, I'm sorry. Carmi ask if I think the tornadic threat will push all the way out towards Berea or Richmond tonight. I absolutely do not think it will do that. Yeah, Matt Grace, you're still going to have breaks in the line as it approaches Western Kentucky or as it approaches Bowling Green. Georgetown not really seeing much of a severe threat for you, but again, I'm going to avoid the backyard questions, folks. Once more, all of that information that you're looking for is already on our Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. You can go look at that for what to expect for tonight, throughout the late night, and so on and so forth. This broadcast is more for the immediate threats upcoming, and the immediate threats are obviously where the threats are now, where the warnings are now, and then just to the east a little bit. So again, to pull out our drawing tool here, I'll zoom out just a little bit so we can get northern Kentucky in here. This right here is the area where I think we'll see these storms peak out. And then once they get beyond this area, is where we'll see storms begin to really die down rapidly. Now, in Lexington, Harrodsburg, Danville, Springfield, Richmond, Berea, Campbellsville, Columbia, Edmonton, so on and so forth, you will still see thunderstorms. But the severe threats will really knock off because you're really, once we get past 10:30 ish, folks, 11 o'clock Eastern time, you're really running out of that fuel for the storms, that cape that we talk about so famously all the time. So really, I mean, I think the threats are from up in northern Kentucky, Carrollton, LaGrange, Louisville, Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, Litchfield, Brownsville, Bowling Green, Lewisburg, Russellville, Dareville, Oak Grove, and then back over there to where the line of storms is right now. And then again, once we get past that, I think that's where the storms really die down. So if you're wanting to look at and what you're wanting to ask, what to expect in your area, again, look at the map here that I have on the screen here for you guys. Look at the pink circle. If you're in that pink circle, that's where we expect the severe threat to really peak out. If you're outside of that pink circle, whether you're to the west out here, your severe threat's completely done. The line's already passed you. Once this line passes you, your severe threat's over. And then if you're out here in this area, in eastern Kentucky, you will see thunderstorm activity, but the severe threat rapidly diminishes once it exits this pink circle or about the area of this pink circle. So again, if you want to look at where the threats mainly are over the next 90 minutes to 2 hours, it's in this pink circle or whatever shape you want to call that there. So again, still seeing a lot of questions about locations and stuff. Please look at the map that you see on your screen there. Severe threats are inside of that pink circle. There is a 5% tornado risk, but we have not seen a tornado yet in Kentucky. There's about a 30% damaging wind risk, and then there's about a 10% severe hail risk. And again, if you want more information than just that right there, it is on our past videos and on our past posts for you to look at anytime. Right now, we're focused on the immediate threats. I want to say real quickly, I've seen these numbers just jump up. Thank you to everyone that's sharing the broadcast. Thank you to everyone that's liking the broadcast. I appreciate you guys sharing the broadcast out. Let everyone else get informed and updated on what to expect. I really do appreciate you sharing our content and allowing us to keep more folks informed. Circle, yeah, whatever you want to call this. Very elongated oval, if you will. What's the yellow mean? That's where the current severe thunderstorm warnings are. area. And like we've mentioned, this is for the severe threats, all severe threats. 5% is low. Yeah, Michael, and that's what we've said is that this is not a historic outbreak, guys. This is not going to be anything that's going to be written in any textbooks here. All right, this is a casual early spring severe threat that we see almost every year. This is nothing new. This is not HARP or whatever everybody else wants to call it. This is not. This is it's something we see every year here. It's a cold core severe threat. It's going to produce damaging winds. It's going to produce a couple of spin up tornadoes. But overall, it is compared to like what we saw Saturday, or the potential for Saturday at least. It has nothing on it. Nothing on it. A storm worm, yes. There you go. All right. Now that we've gotten that kind of cleared up, I hope we can start to avoid some of the backyard questions a whole lot. I get to a few of them as emergency needs. But again, not an incredible threat tonight to have to sit there and sweat out from your storm shelters or sweat out from your basements. Now, of course, we'll let you know if you need to head to those locations. Just sit back, relax, put this up on YouTube on your smart TVs or put it on your phones there, set it down, so on and so forth. Um, Again, we'll let you guys know. We'll let you guys know. I do want to point out. Let's see here. Up here toward Whitesville to Cloverport to Hardensburg. Some nice wind gusts on going there. Hartford, Centertown. 60-mile-per-hour winds on going there. Back down here toward Hopkinsville, Lafayette, and Pembroke and Elkton. Looks like 55 to maybe 60-mile-per-hour winds going there. Nothing too overtly impressive in that area. Probably doesn't even need a severe warning, for being honest. But since it's going into a radar gap, they're going to issue that severe warning out of an abundance of caution. So I agree with them on that there. You want to look and see if we have any hell cores popping up. We do have a hell core over here for Whitesville. That's going to head towards Fordsville and Hardensburg and Cloverport. So once again, Hardensburg, Cloverport, and Fordsville heads up. A nice little hell core popping up with this 60-mile-per-hour wind threat here in that area. And overall, not really seeing. Got a small hell core over here toward just to the south of Crofton. And that's not really anything to really write home about either. Probably penny-sized hell there. But overall, not too bad. Again, these are severe, but they're on the lower end of the severe spectrum, if you will. Not anything to really write in the textbooks there. Again, for our friends in Louisville, heads up, about 35 to 40 minutes there. Those lines starts to get into the western side of Jefferson County. It's going to produce 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts there and some small hail. Going to keep an eye on that. These cells here have been producing spin-ups a little bit back out here for western Indiana. So we're going to keep an eye on that as they inch closer to the, obviously, the biggest city in Kentucky there. Over 2 million folks. And again, Brandenburg, Radcliffe, E-Town, Hardinsburg, Litchfield, Morgantown, Brownsville, Lewisburg, Bowling Green, Russellville, Elkton. These are the areas next up over the next 45 minutes to an hour for this storm line to get to your area. And once again, I want to reiterate, once this line passes you, your threat is pretty much done. As you can kind of see here, where those storms have already gone through out here in western Kentucky, the dew points have really dropped off. These are not dew points that can support severe weather. And of course, out here in eastern Kentucky, you guys are just dry as a bone. And this is why you don't see the severe threat that we're expecting to see in the central portion. You can kind of see where these darker greens are, kind of almost lines up with where we drew that pink circle, right? And again, that's a direct correlation to the dew points there. What's Hodgenville look like? Well, that's great that you asked that, because there's quite literally a live camera right there for you to look at from Hodgenville. Speaking of that, I want to just check in real quickly, see if they can see any storm clouds coming there. With some rain on the camera there a little bit, kind of shaking off. And again, over time, we're going to start having lots more of these cameras, folks. It's going to be really, really great stuff that's going to allow us to be able to see things a lot faster. A lot faster. Can't talk too much about it right now, but there's some really exciting things coming over the next couple of months. But keep it a secret. Don't tell anyone. Again, Bowling Green's the same as everyone else that was in that pink circle. Severe threat until about 11 p.m. Eastern time. Talking about your camera, yeah, it's got to be very excited, because we're one of the only states. We've talked about this a lot last year or so, right, on all these broadcasts. We're one of the only states that sees the amount of tornado activity that we see that does not have a camera network. Um, and there's people up here that are starting to get into it, and I want to be the first to do it up here in the Ohio Valley. I want to be the first. Um, and again, it's something that's going to help. a lot to knock down on the amount of false warnings. It's going to help a lot to give lead times, allow you guys to see actually what's happening versus just looking at a radar. It's going to be a phenomenal investment. But again, I can't talk about it too much. Just yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But it's something that's quite frankly we've needed for a long time, for a long time, and it's amazing that no one's done it to this point. And it kind of dawned on me last year when we had all those tornadoes going on from last spring. Like, man, why can't we see these storms? Because no one wants to chase in Kentucky, by the way. The reason you don't see storm chasers come here very much, because our road network, quite frankly, is not the greatest. It's not the greatest. When you compare it to how flat and nice and smooth Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas is, going out to Mississippi, even down to Dixie Alley here, Tennessee, their roads are better, except for obviously East Tennessee, where the mountains start to come into play. But no one wants to chase in Kentucky, so we need a dedicated camera network. We really do. We really do. We really do. And I have some exciting stuff coming up about that, but I can't talk about it too much more, or else it's hard to spill too much. Derby man, we don't cover anything for Ohio, my friend. It's Vanna. Just all I can say is soon, soon. Kentucky's like living in a Walking Dead movie. No, I love our state. It's just we are a little, admittedly, a little bit behind on some things. And it's not a criticism to anyone or anyone that passed, but it's an area where we can start to make advancements. It's an area where we can start to make advancements to keep our folks safe. If safety really is a priority of everyone in the state, then this is an absolute no brainer. An absolute no brainer. How would you get a camera network together? I can't explain it too much because again I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But just know there are a lot of moving parts going on that I can't talk about too much. That just God, I can't talk about it too much. I really want to. You guys are really forcing me here, but I really uh just I can't. Caitlin, the blue colors are just radar scatter. Do the cameras not get destroyed? I mean, there's always the potential for cameras to break, right? When you're talking about a significant storm coming through, but most of these cameras can outlive a lot of severe weather. Like, for example, they had all those severe storms and just a historic outbreak down here in Mississippi, Alabama. Look at all the cameras that are still up down there, right? All these H's are cameras. We click on them in the WeatherWise app here and pull it up. Now, of course, there's a little bit of rain and dust on them, but those get wiped off over time, right? But I mean, trust me, these cameras are strong. I want to look back on this line here going toward Louisville at this point. This is the part of the line that's produced some spin up activity in the past, if you will. You see a nice wall of winds near Corydon, Indiana. Some nice burst of winds. Northern Meade County going toward Cloverport, Gardensburg, and Whitesville and Fordsville. The part of the line that was down here toward Beaver Dam and Hartford, that part of the line is starting to fall apart a little bit. Not really fall apart, but it's starting to weaken a little bit. We'll see if that's a trend or if it's just pulsing. Down here in Hopkinsville to Pembroke to Elkton. Got a little burst of winds down here, probably up to 65 mile per hour in that little corner there. And again, that's going to track toward Elkton, Pembroke, and those areas down there in the south central portion or southwestern portion of the state there. Again, if you're looking for any forecast information on what to expect out the night, we've already got posts and videos up on that. I ask that you go view that. And then in this video, we're going to focus more on the imminent threats. 40 mile per hour winds currently in Hodgeville. Thank you for that report there. I appreciate that. New severe warning just went up. This is going to be for Greenville to Central City to Drakesboro, Rochester out here in southwestern Kentucky. Let's go ahead and read the bulletin here for Muhlenberg, Christian, and Todd counties. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-size tail. I do want to point out that there is a tornado possible tag on this severe warning here. And again, this is going to be for Greenville. Let's go ahead and go to the radar down here. Yeah, I can kind of see what they're looking at. This little curve right here. Let's go ahead and look at the velocity. You see a bit of rotation there. Nothing remotely impressive to write home about here. But on a night like tonight, when you're dealing with a cold core setup, some of these radar signatures are going to be a bit underplayed on what actually could be happening. So this is a good warning here by the National Weather Service, I believe out of Paducah, right? Yep, out of Paducah there. Get a good warning there by them to catch that. Again, not anything remotely crazy to write home about, but just a heads up for Greenville, Rosewood, Beechmont, Belton, Penrod, Dunmore, and Drakesboro, Kentucky. This is a cell. It's got a lot of lightning starting to go involved with it. Now we got a darker pink. This cell is beginning to really strengthen up out here. I'm going to go back to velocity now that we have a new scan coming in. Just got to wait for this new scan to come in. No, Kristen, and I'll warn you guys that any app that does have a future radar is almost always going to be inaccurate. So I actually never look at future radar. I don't consider it. I don't ever want that to be on a radar app because it gives people false expectations. Those are basically just equations that have been put into a constraint, and they're spitting out an image based off of what those solutions are. It's not actually like a real radar. We have passed the hour-and-a-half mark on coverage here. You want to keep an eye on this for Weir, Highway 181 down here, Drakesboro, Beechmont, Belton. We got a little pocket of rotation here. You can even see the WeatherWise radar is picking up on it with a yellow arrow. I got a little bit of rotation here. Gonna keep an eye on this. Probably picking up that yellow's probably picking up on a hell core. Maybe. Let's check back in on our folks in north central Kentucky where we've seen a lot of lightning start to really pop off. Up here, Hardinsburg to Cloverport. Let's go check the wind speeds here. Let's see here. We got 64, 66, 74. And now again, every radar can do this, by the way. Radars can overdo the wind gust just a little bit, but with all that lightning there, look at all those lightning strikes. With all that, this is all within the last 5 minutes, by the way. These lightning strikes are only 5 minutes, I believe, if I remember what they told me correctly. This is all within the last 5 minutes, so we're seeing a rapid strengthening possible of this storm cell that's heading right for Hardinsburg and Cloverport. So heads up to you folks out there along Highway 60 out there in Breckenridge and Meade counties. This looks like a possible 70-mile-per-hour wind threat here up there for north central portion of the state. We also got that nice little curvature there. What's the warning box for 60 mile per hour that needs to be updated? Check back down here again for these storms in south central Kentucky. Still seeing a bit of rotation there. Nothing really to write home about. No rotation down here for Hopkinsville, Pembroke, Elkton, Elk Grove. No rotation down there at all. Looks like 60 mile per hour wind gust the main threat there. I want to see if StormNet AI is picking up on this tornado threat. And it is. You can see that just I know it's kind of hard to see because I can't really zoom in. I can't zoom in on this map. This is not zoomable. But if you look at this, it's starting to tick up on this light here. This is just to the west of Jefferson County, just to the west of Carrollton, Kentucky. Just again, a heads up that it is starting to pick up on a potential tornado threat in these cells up here in southern Indiana. And again, it's going to track toward Louisville, LaGrange, Campbellsburg, Carrollton, so on and so forth. So the StormNet AI is trying to pick up on a tornado threat for this area. Again, we'll be in Louisville, Charlestown, Campbellsburg, Carrollton, Bedford, Jeffersontown, so on and so forth within the next 45 minutes there. It didn't pick up on a tornado threat anywhere else at the moment, though. I can hear the wind here in Radcliffe. By the way, I'm in Radcliffe for anyone who wants to know. And I can hear the winds already picking up here as well. I'm actually going to crack open my window so I can start to hear what's happening outside. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. By the way, on some point on Saturday, I lost half my one of my hooks to my American flag out there. So, if anyone wants to send me a hook, go ahead. Sorry about that. I was spitting out my mint. I didn't want you guys to have to see that. I don't think you guys want to see that. All right. Surprised they didn't upgrade this warning to a 70-mile-per-hour threat. But again, we do have a new warning that has just been issued. This is going to be for Brandenburg to Irvington, and it's going to be for 60 mile per hours or 60 mile per hour wind gust and 1-inch diameter hail. It's quarter size hail. And again, that's for Central Meade, East Central Hancock, and Central Breckenridge counties. This does go until 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central Time. Vanna, I will let you know. I will let you know. Storm north of Louisville, we just touched base on that. This is weekly rotating throughout pretty much this entire storm line here, indicating 70 mile per hour wind gusts as the main threat. But the warnings are only for 60 mile per hour. And yes, this is a part of a cold front, so you're going to see those temperatures really begin to drop down. I'm going to show you the current temperatures. You can see where the storms have been versus where they're going. 70s for your temperatures in central Kentucky. Low 60s for your temperatures where those storms just left a couple of hours ago out there in western Kentucky and Ballard County at 59 degrees there. And also you can look at these dew points as well and kind of see where the storms have already been versus where they're going. This is the immediate threat. This is where the storms have already been. And we'll see those dew points and temperatures crash as that storm line really exits the area. And again, just to reiterate, this is the only line of concern tonight. The only line of concern tonight. I do want to draw once more the line of kind of where we're expecting these storms to really peak out and die. So storms will really peak out about right there, if you will. And again, it's not going to be a perfect little shape. But on this side is where we expect those storms to peak out. Once storms get past this general area, and again, it might be off by like 20 miles or so. You just saw me draw it by hand there real quickly, okay? So don't take this 100% verbatim. Like if you're in Bardstown, you're technically outside of that pink circle. Act like you're in it, all right? Because again, it's not going to be a perfect circle, all right? Or a perfectly drawn line there, all right? So just for a little context there. But generally, once these storms get past this pink area, that's when we expect storms to die. However, they're going to continue to get stronger until they get to the edge of that pink line, and then you will see a rapid decline in storm activity. But again, you can kind of see for yourself that the whole entire line there is starting to get warned. We got warnings all the way from Greensburg, Indiana, Richmond, Indiana, all the way down to the Tennessee and Kentucky border there. Again, if you were in here when we first started the broadcast back an hour and 40 minutes ago, we had one warning in Kentucky and like 2 warnings in Indiana. And now we have several, almost a dozen severe warnings all the way from Indiana down to the Kentucky-Tennessee border. So you're seeing the line begin to peak out a little bit. You're seeing the line begin to really get strong. And they'll be strong over the next hour, hour and a half or so. And then you'll see a very, very, very fast decline in storm activity. ETA for Louisville is sometime within the next 45 minutes. Yeah, Buffy, download WeatherWise. It's going to take you a little bit of time to learn, but the more you watch the broadcast, and we're going to make some videos when we get a moment to breathe here on how to actually operate WeatherWise. It's going to help you guys learn how to do that because this is technically a semi-pro radar, but it's not very hard to learn. Don't feel overwhelmed by it. I will let you guys know a little bit here and there as we're going throughout these storms over the next couple of months. All right, let's go back through our velocities here. Again, want to reiterate, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect throughout the night, you can see all that information on our Facebook and Twitter pages in both post form and in video form. So I ask that you go look at those. This broadcast is more for the immediate threats that are happening right now. Again, 60 mile per hour winds, the main threat from Cloverport to Brandenburg, Irvington, and that warning there. Actually, want to start from the north here. 65 mile per hour wind gusts in southern Indiana. It's going to enter the Louisville, maybe downtown Louisville area to LaGrange, Bedford, Warsaw, Sanders, and Independence, Kentucky up there. Down here in south central Kentucky, still see a wall of winds, maybe up to 55 mile per hour or so for Beaver Dam, Hartford, Fordsville. That's going to head toward Caneyville and Litchfield here soon. We'll see if that picks up or continues to downtrend a little bit. Still seeing a nice downburst of winds from Greenville to Highway 431 out here. Don't see any rotation on that anymore, though. That's great news there. For Pembroke to Elkton to Trenton, Kentucky, north of Oak Grove, 60 mile per hour winds, the main threat there over the next 30 minutes or so in those locations. That's kind of where we stand right now, folks. Thank you, Christy, for your donation, as well as Tiffany for your donation on the PayPal and Venmos. I appreciate you guys. Again, you don't have to do that. I do appreciate you, though. Can you explain the term peak out? Well, yeah, just kind of what it sounds like there. It's hitting its peak, it's hitting its max, and then once it does that, you're going to see a real fast fizzle out. ETA for Irvington, probably about 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, Amber, everyone will be okay in this, folks. This is not, again, just to reiterate, this is not a historical outbreak or anything like that. This is on the lower end of the severe risk, but it is still a severe risk, so we talk about it with you guys and cover it for you. You know, we cover any severe risk, big and small. And I would say this is a smaller scale event here. Again, this is not any type of historic outbreak or nothing like, some of these clickbait titles are showing. But this is a severe threat that we have to monitor and respect. ETA for E-Town, probably about an hour or so. You got this part of the line here. It's going to be coming to your area. Brakely, Kentucky, you got this warning down here. It's going to head to your location or just the southern part of this line, but I think you're probably looking at 50-mile-per-hour winds as the main threat there. All right, that's probably enough for the backyard questions for a little bit, folks. Trying to save my voice here. I'm learning that the more I do this, I can only handle so many backyard questions. I promise you, all the information is on our page, folks, for you guys to look at. Matter of fact, I'm actually going to make another post real quickly, if you guys do not mind. I'm basically just going to make the same little circle I made for you guys here, or shape, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Okay. So you guys can go to the page if you want here in a minute and zoom in on this map and kind of look at it more zoomed in if you guys want. Okay. The post is out on Twitter. I'll put the post out on Facebook as well, so you guys can go look at this map and zoom in and see, basically what you're wanting to see. Okay, post is out on Facebook as well now. You guys can go be able to see all those maps there. Again, we are updating our Facebook and YouTube and Facebook and Twitter as we go through here. Again, all the new information is on those pages for you. What are the yellow dots on the map? Those are just very small radar sites. That's all those are. Okay, one of our sheets of metal must have gotten loose because I'm hearing it just flap in the wind outside. That's always fun. Thankfully, it looks like the part of the storm that may head toward the Jefferson County area is on the weakening trend. Hopefully that continues there and does not pull us back up. But for right now, for our folks out there in Jefferson County that might be watching, the portion of the line that's going to be in your area, especially for downtown, that part's on the weakening trend. You still have this part down here that's going to track toward the metro portion of the county, the main portion of the county there. That might still be on the severe side as it enters your area. Let's see here. No rotation, no rotation, no rotation, no rotation. No rotation. Oh, maybe a smidge. Not really. No rotation, no rotation. I want to check this little cell up here. Yep, some rotation there on that one. This tornado warning probably needs to be a little bit more south than what it is. But that's not our area, so I'm not going to be concerned with it. So as of right now, I'm not seeing any real rotation anywhere in this line. Looking like we're just, again, mainly looking at a wind gust threat. I want to check the StormNet AI real quick. And you have the StormNet AI, that brief peak that we saw has gone away. And now it's a very low, less than 1% chance for tornadic activity throughout the portion of the line so far. But if we click on the StormNet severe wind, you'll see the probability is about 70 to 80% of severe winds throughout the portion of the line there. So again, it kind of shows you for yourself, for your own eyeballs there. The tornado threat's not really massive tonight, guys. It's just not. It's just not. Again, it's more so just a damaging wind risk. Yes, this is passing there pretty fast, Vicky, out in Greenville. Get about another 10 minutes or so there, and then it'll be out of Greenville. And I really don't think you even need to be in your storm shelter. Let's see if we can identify any hell cores. There is one smaller hell core just to the north of Hardinsburg, heading toward Bradenburg. Probably 1 inch diameter hail with that, and that is the bulletin there, 1 inch diameter hail. Don't really see any hell cores up here. These are all very small hell cores, probably pea-sized hail. Probably pea-sized hail, maybe penny-sized hail north of Beaver Dam, going along Highway 62 there in central Kentucky. And again, a very small hell core just to the south of Greenville, heading toward Drakesboro. You're welcome, Vicky. Thank you very much, my friend. Leah, I appreciate that. Thank you guys again for all the shares, the likes, the new followers. I appreciate you guys, the new subscribers. Thank you all very much. I appreciate all of y'all's trust in our coverage here with you tonight. Made by Milk says, should I be expecting any tornadoes in Radcliffe? I don't think anyone anywhere should be expecting any tornadoes. Again, the main threat is damaging winds. There is a possibility for a couple of weak spin-up tornadoes throughout pretty much this entire line, but the threat for that is still rapidly diminishing. I did not get a fish sandwich today, but I did get Zaxby's, so it's almost as good. Stacy, there that entire area is under a tornado watch. Here's the tornado watch. By the way, just to reiterate, tornado watch is for that entire area, not just for Ohio County. And again, if you want to view that tornado watch, that's already been posted on our page. Broad rotation heading toward Fordsville. No, I mean, I've gone throughout this line several times over the last few minutes, and I'll go throughout it again, but I don't see. There are some peak winds up here for northern Kentucky, maybe 65 mph there. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any real rotation anywhere. Not at the moment. Of course, that could change, but I don't see any real rotation anywhere at the moment. Oh my god! I don't know if you guys can hear, but the winds are. Can you all hear that through the microphone by chance? I mean, I have a gate. I have a gate on the microphone, so you might not be able to hear it. But man, it is roaring out there. And again, I'm in Radcliffe here, and the storms haven't even made it to me yet. What's a spin up tornado? A spin up is a weak, very brief tornado. How's the baby doing? He's doing great. He's doing great. McKinley, thank you for that report out of Ohio County. I appreciate that. Did you ever try Chick-fil-A's fish sandwich? No. I don't. I'm a very strict person. If I'm going to a chicken store or chicken restaurant, I'm going there for chicken. I'm not going there for for you know what I mean, like a burger spot. I'm not going to a burger spot and ordering wings. You know what I mean? Yeah, Grant. With the low pressure being this strong, I'll show you guys real quickly as well. Our lower level jet is absolutely kicking right now. Our lower level jet is at about 60 mph, so that's what you're hearing right now. Is all these winds being carried down to the surface because we have a lot of downdraft cape involved, and so that's the reason you're hearing a lot of these winds. Even if you're not seeing thunderstorm activity right now, the reason you're hearing a whole lot of winds is because our lower level jet is actually just rocking right now. 60 mph winds is really really fast stuff up there. Yes, Jess, that's correct. So once this line passes your area, your severe threat's over. This is why I don't like the watch going all the way to midnight Eastern time for Western Kentucky, because, like, for example, Henderson, Madisonville, Princeton, Crofton, Hopkinsville, Murray, Benton, Paducah, your threat's done. But you still have a watch for the next 2 hours. Like, that makes no sense to me. Yeah, Alex, we've been watching that one. It's been kind of pulsing up and down a little bit. Starting to really peak in winds. And this almost always happens in this area is whenever we get a storm to come through here in north central and northwestern Kentucky, the winds almost always peak out northwest of Irvington, heading toward Raymond, Mystic, Union Star, Painville here, Meade, and Breckenridge County line. The winds just always seem to peak out right there, and then they end up just weakening after that. And as I'm saying that, you can see it already weakened some. That's just a bit of geography there. Topography is actually, I guess, the correct word for that. Yeah, Glasgow's again not really a big severe threat there. Mainly just strong thunderstorm activity. When the line reaches Lexington, should it be just showers? Mainly, you'll still hear a couple rumbles of thunder, but you won't have that severe threat that we're seeing out here in central Kentucky. How long until it reaches Shepherdsville? You probably have about an hour or so. Winds went completely dead in southwest level. You get that front starting to get in there now. So as the rains kick in, those winds will calm down initially. Thankfully, the weaker portion of the line is the portion of the line that might hit the Louisville side. We might get this little cell to go through southern portions of Jefferson County, but we'll keep an eye on that. These storms like to wiggle a little bit once they get to central Kentucky, so the paths are not going to be 100% perfect. Let's check back in down here, see if we see any rotation or anything down here in southwestern or south central Kentucky. I don't see anything really of any major concern there. Nothing of major concern here. Nothing of major concern to the north. Yeah, this is again just looking like a massive wall of straight line winds. And it's been that way pretty much the entire night. We did have a couple of pockets of some brief rotation, but nothing really to write home about. Derby man, have a good night, my friend. Info on Ohio County getting a strong thunderstorm ongoing there. Should be out of your area very soon. Yeah, Grant, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. The reason we saw a little bit more activity today than we saw on Saturday is because, and I kind of want to show you guys this. I think it's important to know this. Our storms started here. So the reason that we got a little bit more activity is because by the time they got to us, it was still, when it really started was 7:30 ish Eastern time, and that's still you got sunlight up, you got fuel still being kicked into the atmosphere from warm weather, and that really goes till about 11 p.m. or so. On Saturday, the reason we didn't see as much activity here as they saw in Missouri, Illinois, Arkansas, so on and so forth, or I'm sorry, on Friday night going to Saturday mornings because the storm started out here. So a lot of times, what it comes down to in Kentucky is where those storms start at. And that's why you saw the rapid upgrade today, and that's why you saw the random tornado for a lot of folks was a random tornado watch because the low pressure was projected to go up here and then track off that way. The low pressure was actually about right here and tracked off this way. So what that does with that type of position is it brings this area into a severe threat. And that's exactly what we saw today. So it's all about a lot of what our stuff comes down to here in Kentucky. And it's just a very simple overlook by a lot of our different broadcast groups and a lot of folks in Kentucky. It's all about low pressure placement. And that timing is so big here. I know it doesn't seem like it because the last few years it seems like a lot of our biggest storms have come at night. But usually, once you go past about 11 o'clock at night, a lot of your storms will die off because they don't have that fuel, they don't have that sunlight, they don't have that heat to work with. Yeah, rotation is typically where that red and green meet and form a nice clean circle. Fortunately, I don't have any tornado warnings active right now to really show you a good example. But they have to make a very vibrant, neat, clean circle, if you will. Grant, I appreciate you, my friend. Again, anyone looking for info, we literally just made a post on Twitter and Facebook about 10 minutes ago with the latest update. So if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect, when to expect it, where to expect it, how to expect it, and so on and so forth, all that good stuff, that post is on our Twitter and Facebook page. We just made it 10 minutes ago. I encourage you to go look at that. JC, thank you for the update out of Webster. Main threat for E-Town is the same as it is everywhere else along the line. It's going to be damaging wind gusts up to 60 mile per hour. Taking a little look around the radar here, making sure we're still on the same page. Yep, straight line, straight line. Those winds are peaking once again here. Let's go check the wind gust over here toward northern Hardinsburg. Yeah, 65 mile per hour, 70 mile per hour wind gusts just to the north of Hardinsburg, just to the west of Irvington. So still looking at some nice winds there. Let's go ahead and check down here. Don't pay attention to this because this is probably just radar scatter. There's no way there's 90 mile per hour winds occurring. So don't pay attention to that. What you look for is more closer to the actual storm line. Nothing really going. Nothing really going anywhere else at the moment. Again, even this warning down here doesn't look like it really needs to be warned at this point. It's kind of just there just to be there. So again, there is technically a warning for Elkton, to Trenton down there in southwestern and south central Kentucky, but even down there, it just doesn't look entirely too impressive. Again, tornado watch goes until midnight Eastern time, but once this line passes you, you're done. Haley, yes, it will begin its weakening trend as it enters Bardstown. Hardin County within the next hour. Fordsville, the worst is already past you. Your threat is done. Yes, Muhlenberg does not have that warning any longer. It is now just for Todd County. Again, for all those folks we're starting to get a lot of those questions again. If you're looking for information on when and where and how to expect it, we just made an update on our Twitter and Facebook. I encourage you to go look at that post. It will, I promise you, it will answer your questions. And again, in this broadcast, what we're focused on is covering the current threat, not really forecasting as much, but covering the current situation. There's another internet weather person saying take cover for Russellville and Bowling Green. Is there much to worry about? No, not really. I've been keeping an eye on it, but there's just not anything there. There's just not. Again, be careful where you're getting information from. I'm looking around real quickly, making sure we're still good to go on everything. Matter of fact, I think they're going to cancel this morning here. I'm not 100% sure. The baby's doing great. He's in bed now. He's chilling out. He's hopefully asleep. Hopefully asleep. That's how you gotta do it, Bluegrass. She says she opens the. They say they open the WeatherWise app and kind of track along here with us, and learn along here with us here, and that's great. That's how you do it. All right, I think I'm gonna mute Derby Man for a little bit on YouTube there. I think that's got to be the 15th time he said he's going to bed. Appreciate you, Derby Man. Have a good night, my friend. Again, I'm looking everywhere, guys. For those of you asking about the current line and stuff, I'm looking everywhere, and just there's no rotation really anywhere. So again, no tornado threat at the moment. There is definitely some nice downburst of winds occurring, but again, not really looking at anything too particularly insane at the moment. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quickly before this approaches the Central Kentucky line there. Yeah, I'll be right back. Maybe like a minute and a half. Someone start a timer. All right, I'm back. Don't worry, everyone. I love how immediately when I turn off the camera, there's always like 100 people that leave. All right. Again, just to recap, not seeing any pockets of real major concern at the moment. Again, there are some spots where we do see some 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gust here. I want to check back in. Looks like this Fordsville storm is starting to get a little bit stronger here. Yeah, nice hell core here. Might see a severe warning come out soon. Again, might see a severe warning come out soon for places like, what am I looking at here? Southern Breckenridge, Southern Meade counties, Western Hardin counties. Again, for this core right here, might produce some small hail and some wind gusts up to 60 to 70 mile per hour. I would not be surprised to see a severe warning issued soon for that area of the line there. We see this little cell just to the east of Fordsville. And we just saw a bunch of lightning pop up with this. This indicates that this part of the line is intensifying a little bit. So we're going to keep an eye on that. That is our primary focus at the moment there. Keep an eye on that part of the line. Let's go ahead and look up here toward the Irvington area where we're still seeing some widespread 60 mile per hour winds approaching northern Hardinsburg, going out here toward Brandenburg, Mockport, North Irvington, North Ekron. And then that's going to head up toward the Louisville areas here in the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. Should be in the western side of Jefferson County, heading through Jefferson County throughout the next, let's say, by 10:30, 10:45 p.m. Does look like these storms are beginning to slow down, though. Let's see here. Actually, it's beating up. It doesn't really feel like it, though. It feels like this one storm has set here from Hardinsburg to Irvington for like an hour. That's what it feels like, anyway. I do not see any concerns for Morgantown at the moment. I mean, there is definitely a strong thunderstorm ongoing down there, but looks to be on the weaker side of the line. Oh man, I cracked open my door and it feels so much better in here. It gets so hot in here because of my computer. Whenever we're rolling with this coverage like this, it gets so, so hot in here. I'm going to check my phone for just 1 second, make sure none of our emergency partners have any questions for me. Don't worry, I'm not messing around. Okay, don't see any messages yet. Do I think any more tornado warnings will happen in Kentucky, or as of right now, no. No, I don't really think. I think what we'll see at the maximum, unless something crazy happens, and I can't rule it out, but at the maximum, what we'll see is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. I don't think we're going to see any actual pure tornado warnings. Can I rule it out completely? No. But again, and I've made this very clear over the last couple days when we've been posting about this. I don't think this is a high end threat. Is it a threat that we have to respect? Of course, it's got damaging winds and some moderate hail with it, but I don't think this is an incredible threat by any means. No, I don't think. Let me check that. That's actually a good thing to check. No, my fan speeds are up. I mean, it's on the lower side, but you can see the temperature there is quite low. Y'all were actually timing this man pee. Oh my goodness, were people really do? Maybe he didn't think us. Maybe he didn't actually think us weirdos would really do it. I just kind of say it as a joke, leaving every time. I knew there'd be somebody out there that would do it. Wind gusts out ahead of the storms are probably about 50 mph. We can actually check the peak winds right now. Your current gust right now, for example, like up here toward Bullitt County, it looks to be about 40 mph or so. The peak wind gust of the day so far, we got widespread 40 to 55 mph wind gusts as the peak out here, and then as these storms get closer, you'll see these peak wind gusts go up in central Kentucky as well. Peak wind gusts down here in Todd County. This probably just happened. 54 mph down there. So again, and these aren't going to be 100% accurate, folks. They're going to be a little bit off. We know that wind speeds have been a bit higher than what's showing on this map in some places. But that's what the Kentucky Mesonet shows as of right now. Uh, beautiful book. Beautiful books. No, they have not. We're already beginning to see a little bit more rain involved with this line of storms. This indicates to us that this line is beginning its weakening trend. It's beginning its weakening trend, folks. And that's very near where we drew that pink circle before. Again, it's still going to have that ability to produce severe weather until it gets to about the I-65 line. But you can already tell when you start to see storms like this start to produce a little bit more rainfall. That's really good. It's going to take up some space from those winds. Just put it in very layman terms. And it begins to also signify that the storm is beginning to weaken. Heads up to Russellville and our folks out here in Adairville and Elkton and Guthrie, Kentucky. 60 mph winds have been reported there. Again, this is for Elkton heading toward Russellville, Auburn. You could probably argue this will probably be expanded here soon. I don't know. It's going to be close. Refresh the radar for a second. Just again, you're going to have this pocket of winds here where you have the lightning and rain to the north, lightning and rain to the west. You're going to have a pocket of winds in Russellville and Auburn and Adairville that are going to reach up to 60 mph. There before that rain actually even arrives. The warning up in north central Kentucky has been allowed to expire at this point. I'm going to go ahead and check back in on our velocities and measurements there. Looks like it's right on the border of severe warning. There's probably a special weather statement here, but I have special weather statements turned off because I don't like those. I don't think those should be a thing. But you're starting to see it. You're starting to see the weakening trend. Look at all those warnings. Remember, we saw like 12 warnings just about 40 minutes ago. Now we're beginning to, we have 1, 2, 3. So you're really already beginning to see that weakening trend. Let's see if it continues here. We'll stay on here live with you guys. It's very windy in Franklin. Yes, right in front of this line of storms, you're going to have lots of wind gusts occurring. You want to check Now you can still see where those storms have gone through. You can see the difference there. It's just tanking down all of the moisture available for it. Why has this watch not been trimmed yet? I mean, what are we doing? Cancel the watch out there, folks. That's the only thing that irks me is I don't understand why we're in 2025 and can't produce dynamic watches. What I mean by that is watches that go out for an entire area that has different time frames. Like I don't understand that. Like there's no threat back here at all anymore. You're like the only threat you have is a temperature crash. Like that's it. This should be canceled out here. I don't understand why we can't produce dynamic watches. Because all you're doing at that point is when you have a watch that, for example, goes till midnight Eastern time for the next 2 hours, is you're telling everybody, hey, we got a threat till midnight, but in reality you don't. I can't stand that. Lots of lightning still showing up all the way from Corydon, Indiana, down here for this cell, just to the east of Fordsville. So lots of lightning involved with these. Even though they are weakening, you're going to hear some very rowdy storms along the I-65 line here soon for places like Louisville, Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, Litchfield, Brownsville, and Bowling Green, Franklin, and Dareville. Even though the storms are on the weakening trend, you're still going to see some. You're still going to hear and see some rowdy thunderstorms. Yep. Eden on YouTube says the wind is getting even worse here in Shively. Yeah, again, as this wind approaches, or as the line approaches just in front of the line, you're going to get some nice wind burst. Some nice wind burst to occur. I'm going to change the tilt on this a little bit. We got a little bit of broad rotation on this. Yeah, it's in the favorable spot too. We got a very small amount of broad rotation on this cell just to the south of Hardinsburg. This will head toward Radcliffe, Vine Grove, West Elizabethtown, so on and so forth. Hope Valley, Rineyville, St. John's, Stevensburg, and Eastview. And not anything to write home about just yet. Hopefully it just continues to trend down. But a little, very little bit of rotation there. Let's see if there's a hell core involved with that. And there is, and there's your severe thunderstorm warning to come out with it. So severe thunderstorm warning now has been issued. Let's go ahead and read the bulletin here. This is going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and 1-inch diameter hail. This is going to be for southeastern Meade County, southeastern Breckinridge County, and central Hardin County. And this does go until 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Again, it's going to be for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and quarter-sized hail. And again, I do live in Radcliffe, so we'll be able to see out the window here and tell you exactly what's happening. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. I'm glad we saw that. I was wondering. I was like, hey, why is there not a warning on that? And then they rapidly issue that warning. Great stuff, NWS Louisville. Again, this is really the only warning in Kentucky right now. We still have this warning down here, though. So sorry, we have two warnings. This warning's weird, though. The storm's already passed this area, but the warning's still sitting here. I'm not really sure if this is glitched out. Let me double check, because it really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. No, it's what they issued. I don't know what's going on with this warning down here. This should be a little bit more to the east by this point. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on there. I want to check back into this warning here. Yeah, we still see a little bit of rotation here. This is going to indicate a downburst of winds. Let's go ahead and look at the wind speeds here. Yeah, we're seeing 60 to 70 mile per hour winds across this entire cell here. Now, again, we do know that radars tend to overdo the wind speeds a little bit, so don't take that 100% verbatim. But we're seeing a lot of lightning even out in front of the storm. This is indicating that this cell right here that's entering Meade County, Breckinridge County, and West Hardin County, this cell is strengthening. So heads up to you folks, basically from West Point down to Elizabethtown, and then back over here toward Kingswood, Westview, Locust Hill, Custer. And to zoom into a more specific view here, again, we have Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Rineyville, Whole Valley, Big Spring, Garrett, Rockhaven, so on and so forth. We have a new skin in, so let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to have to turn this tilt up a little bit to get a more accurate view. Yeah, we even have some notches going in here. So I actually want to kind of go ahead and tell you guys to get into your shelters. If you're in West Hardin, South Meade, East Breckinridge counties, again, not tornado warned and not tagged with a top possible tornado, but we're starting to see some notches in this cell here. Again, and we do see a bit of rotation on the eastern side, not anything to write home about. But it is there in a very faint form. And again, just to reiterate, down here for Caneyville, strong thunderstorm going on down there just to your west, heads up there. Along I-165 here west, Warren County going into, I believe it's Edmondson, right? Or something around there. Lewisburg, Rochester more specifically. Strong thunderstorm ongoing there, not quite severe. Russellville, Dareville, strong thunderstorm ongoing there as well. The main cell to watch at the moment, though, is this cell that's up here. Now, this has been a severe warned cell for over an hour and a half, and it continues to be severe warned as we head into pretty much the heart of Kentucky there. I'm going to give a quick shout to Hardin County EMA real quick. How long till it hits Vine Grove, Radcliffe area? Again, probably within the next 40 minutes. I'm sorry, within the next 30 minutes, I should say. I'm check back in. We're also, do we have any correlation drops? We do have a correlation drop there. This might be something on the ground. It's very close. It's very close. I mean, a correlation drop could also just indicate a lot of other things as well. But we still have the little notch there. This is going to be very close. I'm watching this very closely. I'm going to text Mike real quick as well. And we're still seeing lots of lightning wrapped around this as well. It continues to indicate that the cell is strengthening. We do have a bit of a correlation drop there, but it's not really in a spot that indicates anything at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised to see this get upgraded. Maybe if the next scan shows anything that may indicate some rotation there. Yes, this will head toward Muldrow. Okay, the warning down here has been canceled, thankfully, because I didn't really know what the heck they were doing down there. So that warning has been canceled. Just strong thunderstorm activity just to the west of I-65 down here in south central Kentucky right now. No severe warnings down there. So what we're going to do now is really hone in on this severe cell that's up here. This one has the potential to produce perhaps some more significant severe weather. Again, not warned right now for a tornado or tagged, but this does have the potential to get stronger here. I want to check StormNet AI real quickly. StormNet AI is picking up on an 80% chance of severe winds in that cell and about a 20% chance of severe hail in that cell as well. I want to see if that hail core has been updated yet. Not a big hail core with this either, so I think this indicates that this is more surface-based. So again, heads up West Hardin County, Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Rineyville, going out to Big Spring, Hope Valley, Custer, Garrett, Rockhaven, Lickskillet, Fort Knox. Again, this is a cell that's produced some stronger hail and winds in the past, and it's going to try and re-strengthen as it enters your county and your area. And it's got that hook to it that we usually identify with stronger supercells. It's not really made that formation perfectly just yet, but we'll keep an eye on that for you. Again, to the south here, because I know we have a lot of folks from Morgantown to Bowling Green to Caneyville to Russellville. Strong thunderstorms are ongoing down there, but they are not severe. So what we're going to do is really hone in on this cell here. Up here in northern Kentucky, strong thunderstorms ongoing there, but once again, not severe at the moment. So what we're really going to do is just really watch this one cell very closely. Along Highway 86 right now. We do still see a little bit of that correlation drop. Not anything really to write home about once again. But we are watching very close. I want to reiterate, thank you to everyone that's sharing the broadcast, everyone that's liking the broadcast, everyone that's trusting us with their weather reports tonight. Thank you to all of you that are sharing the broadcast. Again, I can't reiterate that enough. You guys are helping to spread our information out and keep folks safe and informed. Thank you very much. I'm really anxiously awaiting this next scan to see if it completes that hook. Hopefully by the next scan, what we see is that this kind of just goes more into a straight line. Again, for other places in Kentucky, from Litchfield to Caneyville to Morgantown, Woodbury, Lewisburg, Russellville, Auburn, and Dareville, and heading over toward Franklin, Woodburn, and Bowling Green eventually, as well as Brownsville and Litchfield. Again, strong thunderstorms ongoing there, but not quite severe. And then up here for northern Kentucky toward Bedford and going up toward Carrollton. Strong thunderstorm activity there, likely going to get very loud and rowdy, but none of those are severe at this point. Increase that tilt up. A correlation drop, sometimes if storms are strong enough, they will lift debris up into the air and it will show up on correlation charts like this. It will be a very dark, very vibrant ball. You'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. I don't see it right now. There is some on the leading edge of this, but this is likely just heavy rainfall coming down. Again, not really anything to write home about right now. Hopefully the next scan shows us that this is just kind of going back toward a straight line, but if we zoom in enough, you do see a bit of a hook there. A bit. It's not a whole lot. It's not really anything strong enough to write home about, but it's there, so we make note of it. Just again, if I'm in Radcliffe, Vine Grove, Ronnieville, Big Spring, and stuff, I'm watching very, very closely at this moment, because we have seen time and time and time again storms come off the hills over here, and they produce some slight downbursts on the western side of Hardin County and western side of, or eastern side of Meade County. So we've seen that time and time again, just knowing the topography there. Again, zooming out, no other severe warnings in the state right now. I'm going to refresh the radar here. I'm actually going to close it out and reopen it. And you can see the radar is now trying to pick up on a little bit of rotation there as well. Again, not anything to really write home about at this point. Russellville's not severe. This is one of those times where I wish we had a camera here. We could look right into the storm and see exactly what it's doing. Because right now it's going right into the radar, so we're going to start to lose this storm on the radar. This is why cameras are incredibly, incredibly high on my priority list. This is one of those times where if we had a camera, we can know exactly what this is doing. Radars tend to update about every 3 to 4 minutes. That's pretty standard for all radars. The yellow shapes are severe thunderstorm warnings. And again, you could kind of see for yourself, folks, there are no other warnings in the state except for this one right here in West Hardin County, Meade, and Breckenridge counties. Everywhere else is just strong thunderstorm activity. So if we're not talking about your area too much and you're seeing thunderstorm activity right now, just know, not because we're ignoring you, it's because there's no severe weather there at the moment. And I've been kind of periodically looking around. I'm not really seeing anything to really write home about anywhere. There are definitely some nice wind gusts down in Russellville, Lewisburg to Auburn. Those are not quite severe level. Yeah, you're looking at 59, 57 for the average there. That's just below severe level. And again, that's in Russellville heading toward Auburn, Woodburn, and Bowling Green here in the next 40 minutes or so. But the main cell of note right now is this elongated cell here, stretching from really west Jefferson County to south Indiana there, going in toward Brandenburg, and then down here for west Hardin County. Yes, there's a lot of dust in the air right now. Your cars are probably, even despite the rain, are going to be pretty dusty tomorrow. This strong cell will likely go just below. I mean, this northern portion will definitely hit Jefferson County, for whoever was asking about that. But this portion will probably go just below Jefferson County. Bowling Green, it'll be there within the next 45 minutes or so. Okay, it looks like the hook is starting to disappear. I mean, it's still slightly there, but this is probably just radar feed at this point, radar static. So I'm not as concerned as I was a few moments ago, but we're still seeing a lot of lightning with this right here, so this might still be intensifying. We will keep an eye on it. Where am I at here? Here we go. Now in the new scan, we see the hook is gone, but we do see an uptick in reflectivity there, so it might be some stronger hail beginning to come down when that updates here in a few moments. Again, elsewhere throughout the state, no severe warnings are present, just strong thunderstorms. I know it probably sounds very rowdy, very loud outside, but sounding loud is not the same as actually being severe. Richmond, no severe weather is expected. Yeah, Jay, the lightning is going pretty intensely out there for Vine Grove right now. Again, Brooklyn, Rackets under severe warning for 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and 1-inch diameter hail. Morgantown's just strong thunderstorm activity down there right now. No severe weather at the moment. Or no severe warning at the moment. Okay, the brief rotation that we did see is almost completely gone from this cell in West Hardin. We're still going to continue to watch it, obviously, with you guys here live. But at the moment, it seems to be going back down. Continue to watch it. Again, elsewhere throughout the state, strong thunderstorm activity up here to the north, not severe and rapidly weakening up there. Down here to the south, not nearly as many lightning strikes down here to the south here, so you can tell this is on a weakening trend as well. Down here for southern portions of the state, but still some likely 50 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts ongoing from Caneyville to Litchfield, down here to Morgantown, Woodbury, and then down here to Russellville and Auburn. And that again will be in the Bowling Green, Brownsville, and Litchfield areas within the next 45 minutes. Again, for Louisville and Jefferson County and our friends up here in the big city, again, strong thunderstorm activity there, but this line has been weakening for your portion there. But it is going to sound pretty rowdy, very rough, but sounding loud and rough doesn't equal severe weather. Still lots of lightning on this cell here. I'm still kind of surprised this has not intensified a little bit more. I'm going to continue to really watch this cell as it's entering western Hardin County right now and going through Meade County and Breckenridge counties. Again, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect, that's on our pages for you guys to look at or view whenever you would like. We just made an update there maybe about 30 minutes ago. Again, go look at that, please. Right now, we are focused on what's actually happening. It's looking like widespread 60 to 65 mile per hour winds through Breckenridge and Meade right now. Lots of lightning involved with that. And again, I'm in Radcliffe, so we're actually going to be able to see this cell as this approaches. I might try to pan the camera outside. Yes, Caitlin. Sorry, stretch time. Road. Actually, like absolutely have to go. Do like 7. Sorry, Brandon was trying to let the dog out. I'm trying to tell her, hey, he's got like 7 or 8 minutes to go do his business. Sirens haven't been going off from Radcliffe? Where's that at? I live in Radcliffe and I haven't heard a thing yet. Lots of lightning here, lots of lightning here, but I don't really see any rotation at this point. But it is going into a radar gap, so we have to keep that in mind as well. As this storm approaches this radar site, this green dot that you see here, we will begin to lose this storm. Again, elsewhere in the state, no other severe warnings exist. Elsewhere in the state, no other severe warnings exist. I gotta restart this radar again. It is getting laggy. There we go. There we go. We're back now. We're gonna go up a few tilts here because it's getting really close to that radar. What do you mean by tilt? It's just the angle at which the radar beams are being sent out. Yeah, I haven't heard any sirens. And I think our folks at the EMA in Hardin County would let us know if they set those off, but I don't think so. Again, elsewhere in the state, no warnings exist, just strong thunderstorms. The only severe warning is in north central Kentucky right here. Very windy in Carrollton. Yeah, once that storm line's gotten to you, it's going to feel very windy there. Again, outside of these severe warnings, 50-mile-per-hour winds pretty much cover the entire line. But those are not quite severe. Severe level winds, and by the way, is anything got 60 mile per hour or more. It is not weakening at the moment. It just looks like it because it's going into that radar beam. This is where a camera comes into play. Because, for example, places like Radcliffe or even Elizabethtown being so close to that radar site, even up there toward Louisville and Fort Knox, you're going to lose this storm. So we really can't see exactly what it's doing. All right, I'm going to open my window back up. Sorry about that. I want to go turn my light on outside real quick. We got a little deeper on the purple here. Man, I hate this. It's going to this radar gap, and I just cannot see what it's doing. I have to go all the way up on the tilt here. Yeah, this storm is strengthening a little bit once again. We still see that Hellcore getting a little bit stronger here as we see these purples begin to show up just to the west of Radcliffe, just to the west of Vine Grove, just to the west of Fort Knox, just to the west of Muldrow there in northern Hardin County. Again, you're seeing a lot of these purples begin to show up. This is probably a nice little Hellcore coming through here with some 60 to 65 mile per hour winds. Get up here for Louisville, Metro Louisville area. You're about to see a strong thunderstorm up there as well. Not quite as strong. Don't really see any rotating winds or any type of wind gusts to really be too concerned about there. 50-mile-per-hour winds the main threat for that location. Same thing for this line of storms from Lawrenceburg to Rising Sun to Carrollton to Bedford, so on and so forth there. From Litchfield to Caneyville, let's go ahead and check back in on this area. Yeah, just a wall of winds. There's absolutely no rotation at all. No rotation down here for western Warren County or anything like that either. Just a wall of winds basically from Litchfield to Dareville, Kentucky, and then they'll stretch over to the east here. And this will continue to weaken. So really the only cell with any type of real potential right now is located in northern Hardin County, uh, about to pass through my area here. Cassie, no, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. You want to say thank you real quick to all the new followers and subscribers and all the people that like and sharing the stream. I appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you so much. No, Caitlin, like I just said, this line will begin to weaken soon. Wind is crazy in Bowling Green. Yeah, you're getting some outflow winds there as the storm line's beginning to weaken down in that location. You're going to still see and hear some loud winds. Just started Helen and Vine Grove. Thank you for that report there. I appreciate that. Bishop, I'm not sure what location you're talking about. Always learning this. The hardest part of this cell will go north of Elizabethtown. Well, just northern Hardin County for this part of the cell. Here we got a new radar scan in now. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into here. And just losing the storm because it goes into the radar here. I can't really see what's happening. Yeah, we're just losing the storm. Time to start using our eyeballs. Good thing it's coming right to my house. I'll be able to tell you exactly what's happening here in a few minutes. Thank you, EO. Hardensburg got wrecked. Yeah, lots of winds out there for a while out there in Hardensburg. Again, elsewhere throughout Kentucky, and pretty much elsewhere throughout a lot of this line here, not really any severe warnings. The main cell of focus right now is definitely this cell in north central Kentucky, where this little portion of this line is trying to make a last gasp here. This severe notice warning has been allowed to expire. I wonder if we'll see a new one come out. You could argue that there absolutely should be. I think you probably could see one down here for Litchfield soon. Again, going to be close on that. A lot of these storms are borderline severe, but they're just not quite severe enough to issue the warnings yet. That severe warning has been allowed to expire. Again, we're starting to see the downtrend of the line. So just to reiterate, we're starting to see the downtrend of the line. But before it goes down, it's going to give a last gasp. It's going to. You're seeing all this lightning. It's going to give a last gasp before this thing goes down. But once this gets past I-65, you're going to see a very rapid death of this line of storms. Currently, no severe warnings in the state, but we're going to stay on live here with you because I'm not certain that our severe threat is done at the moment. So we're going to stay on live here with you. What the? Something just got thrown into the house outside. I don't know what it was. Oh my. I gotta look at this. It really stinks because I'm not gonna be able to show you guys too much because it's dark at night. Definitely your neighbor's lawnmower, probably. Probably. This wind is insane. This wind is insane. Again, not quite severe. It's kind of hard to tell right here. Again, you're going right into that radar, right where that radar hole is. You're going right into a gap. Again, for our folks down here in Bowling Green, Russellville, to Dareville, to Woodburn, to Brownsville, Stretching back out here to Highway 185, going up to Cadyville, Litchfield. No severe warnings there where your line that you're currently hearing in those locations. But it is still a strong thunderstorm with lots of lightning. And then up here, once again, for our folks down in, or up in Carrollton to Warsaw to Rising Sun to Independence. Likely some strong wind gusts ongoing up there, but nothing quite severe yet in the state at the moment. And just kind of looking around here. Looking like a lot of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Lots of 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Again, for this storm that we've been watching in northern Hardin County going into southern Jefferson County, again, really hard to tell exactly what's happening there as this is passing right over a radar site. You're going to lose it. Helen Valley Station, thank you for that. Your reports are going to be very important right now because, again, we're losing the radar site. Yeah, Glasgow, Kentucky, not really expecting a whole lot of activity there. Again, you're going to see strong thunderstorms, but the severe threat really drops off. It's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of lightning. So for perspective basis, I will tell you where I am without zooming in too much. I want you to know. I don't want you guys to know my exact address here. So I'm right here where all this lightning is. So I'm expecting that we're going to hear a lot of lightning here very soon. Some of your comments now. E-Town strong thunderstorm will be there in about 30 minutes or so, but not quite severe. I think our severe threat's really dropping here. Let's check. Let's just make sure. Yeah, almost no cape. Cap starting to build in. Probably there's lots of wind shear, but that's not enough to really keep things going. Tornado index is way down. Yeah, I think here soon we're gonna be able to end this broadcast. As this line continues to the east, you're gonna see a rapid decline in the strength of this line of storms. Yes, the winds are high in Bowling Green, but they're not high enough to issue a severe warning. And the storms are now starting to trend toward what I like to call sounding more rowdy than what they actually are. So the storms with lightning and all the wind gusts that you're seeing, they're going to sound like an absolute freight train outside. It's going to sound ridiculous. But sounding bad and actually being bad are two completely different things, right? So now we're starting to get to the point where storms are going to sound bad, but they're not actually going to be as bad as they sound. No, Caitlin. Again, for Louisville, we're expecting to see 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, along with an abundance of lightning as that storm is starting to creep into metro Louisville to western sides of Jefferson County. Same thing for northern Hardin County to Bullock County. Lots of wind gusts, lots of lightning, but not necessarily anything too bad to be worried about. That cell's really beginning to die down there. Up here toward Warsaw, northern Kentucky, strong thunderstorms up there with lots of lightning once again, but not really seeing a whole lot there. And then, of course, down here for southern portions of the state, Litchfield to Brownsville to Bowling Green to Franklin. Lots of lightning and winds there again, but again, not anything severe. And as this pushes across I-65 and gets more into those lower dew points we talked about, you can see here for yourself, it's really, really going to rapidly die. Really. We'll check here once again. Yeah, just not seeing a whole lot. I'll give it a few more minutes, but if we don't see anything uptrend in the next few minutes, I'm probably going to complete our wall to wall coverage here. We're approaching the 3 hour mark. And at this point, again, everything that I'm seeing is pointing to the downtrend of this storm. Just double checking everything real quickly. Yep. Oh, that's not what I meant to click on. Yeah, this thing's gonna start dying down very fast here. Probably thunderstorms. If anyone sees any activity tonight, it will be thunderstorms. But thunderstorms don't always equate to severe weather. Slightly overhyped, absolutely not. I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I feel like I did a great job with the exact messaging of this event. At least for Kentucky. For other states, everywhere else, I can't talk about for what we cover in Kentucky. You know what? I'll be the first to admit when we get things wrong. You guys know that. You guys know that. I'm the hardest critic. But no, I feel like we did great here. Yes, Breckenridge County is good for the night. Did we talk about the storm? Yeah, no, but I still think the storm performed as expected. If you had false expectations, that's one thing, but the storm I think performed as expected. At least for my state. Again, for other states, I can't talk about that. But if you're in here from other states, you're probably I don't know. EL, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Matthew, have a good one, my friend. And no, it's okay. It's like I said, there's no one that's harder on me than me. So trolls on the internet don't really get to me, but I will be the first to admit when we get things wrong, and I do not believe we got this wrong by any means. Bert, you will still see those thunderstorms up in northern Kentucky, but they are on the weakening trend. Yeah, Jennifer, the wind gusts are up to about 50 mph right now, but there's nothing severe at the moment. You end the live? I'll probably end it here soon. I'm gonna give it about 3 to 4 more minutes and just make sure nothing uptrends. But even as this storm begins to exit the radar site, now we can start to see it. We notice that it's trending weaker, and they're starting to see some of the lightning counts go down. There's still obviously going to be a lot of lightning, folks, and some wind gusts up to 50 to 55 mph. But that is not enough to warrant severe storm coverage, and it's not enough to even warrant a severe warning. Ashley and Barstown, you'll see this strong line of thunderstorms in about an hour. Jeffersonville, Kentucky, you're seeing a strong thunderstorm right now, but it's not quite severe. Hope, thank you for that report out of Vine Grove. I appreciate that. Yeah, no one. By the way, for everyone asking if they can go to sleep or if they're safe, there's not really anything like emergent wise to have to worry about with this. You can feel free to go to sleep at any point. Really, as I've said from the beginning of this broadcast, last couple of days, and I'll say it again right now, this is not a historic outbreak by any means. This is not anything there's going to be a chapter written in the textbooks about. This is not even remotely high on the severe scale. This was just a smaller scale severe event that needed some eyes on it, and we did that. So but by any means, of course, go to sleep, feel free to. You're going to hear strong thunderstorm activity, but just know there's nothing life threatening at all with this. Yes, DJ. Nicholasville, Kentucky. As for the rest of eastern Kentucky, not really expecting any severe weather. I thank you for the report out of Fairdale. Appreciate that. Bowling Green seeing strong thunderstorm activity right now, but it will clear out here soon. Yeah, Ashley, that core that we talked about ended up going just to the north of Ratcliffe there. Immediately lost 200 viewers when you said that. That's fine. I really don't care about viewer count that much. I care about providing you guys with accurate information. Whoever wants to watch it can watch it. Whoever doesn't, they're fully free to on go, wherever they want to go. Severe warning has been issued for up here in Jefferson County. Let's go ahead and read the bulletin there. Oldham County, Shelby County, Trimble County, Henry County, and Jefferson County. The main threat is going to be 60 mph wind gust and penny-sized hail. And you're going to see this. This is going to be the last gasp right here. Once again, as these storms kind of get to Louisville area, we've kind of talked about this for the last half hour or so. 50 to 60 mph winds, the main threat there. Some very small hail, but again, nothing to be extremely concerned with. Nathan, I appreciate that, my friend. Dale, thank you very much. I appreciate that. So again, we do have a severe warning out. This is going to be for all of Metro Louisville, pretty much to Audubon Park, Linview, Minor Lane, J-Town, Middletown, Green Spring, Barber Mead, Graymore, and Devondale, as well as Crestwood and Park Lake to LaGrange. Just to the north of Simpsonville there. Again, this is going to be for the maximum 60-mile-per-hour wind gust and some very small hail with that storm there at central Jefferson County as it pushes to the northeast. But overall, the main threat or the main storm mode is really, really weakening out. Really, really weakening out. So the main cell of focus is going to be right here. So we'll kind of leave this here for just 1 second. Or just 1 moment, I should say. That's because there's a small scale radar site in Mount Washington. Ariel, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, Caitlin. And again, anyone can feel free to go to sleep, go to bed, do whatever you guys want. Of course, once again, this is not going to be something that's going to threaten your life. DJ, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, Mary, the storm is weakening, my friend. No tornado warnings active. Was there a tornado in Bowling Green, Kentucky? No, there was not. Yeah, Brownsville, I think I just saw that you're getting 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts there. The winds, Jess asked, will the winds die down after the storm passes? Probably about an hour after the line leaves your area is when the wind gusts will begin to calm down. The wind gusts are actually coming from the cold front that's moving in, which brings us a slight snow flurry threat for tomorrow. Stacy, in northern Kentucky, you're seeing maximum wind gusts up to 50 to 55 mile per hour. Mostly a small scale event up there. Powers out in Butler County. Sorry to hear that, Savannah. Mount Washington, you're going to see some strong thunderstorm activity here in about 30 minutes there. Yes, Meade County is clear now. Kels, not really. You don't see strong thunderstorm activity here within the next hour or so in Nelson County, but no real severe weather expected. Again, this line, despite the severe warning here, this line is on the weakening trend, folks. I do not cover Tennessee, my friend. Russellville, Kentucky's fine. They're clear. Valley Station is quiet now. Yeah, the storm is just past Valley Station at this point. So you're on the backside now, so that's why it's getting a little more quiet. You're good to go. Yes, Barbara's knocking on the central Jefferson County's door now. We'll enter eastern Jefferson County here very, very soon. E-Town will be in your location here in about 30 minutes or so. Lots of rowdy lightning and some wind gusts up to 50 mile per hour possible, but not severe, and it should be on the weakening trend. Yeah, let's check back in our velocities real quickly, make sure. I'm seeing some peaks now. Linview, Watterson Park, Wellington, Seneca Gardens, basically along the I-65 corridor there, along I-64 as well. Peak wind gusts up to 60, 61 mile per hour or so in Jefferson County up there for our folks there. Down in central portions of the state, not really seeing a whole lot of activity besides just some 45 to 55 mile per hour wind gust. Yeah, no rotation, nothing at all. So the last gasp of this storm is right here in Louisville, heading off to the Louisville suburbs in LaGrange, Eminence, and Newcastle. Radical, thank you for that report out of Louisville. I appreciate you, my friend. And again, once this line is past you, you are done. You are done. Hopefully, when I turn this on, we've seen some of this tornado watch has been canceled. And it's still up. Like, why? Cancel the watch. Well, again, once the line is past you, you're pretty much done. Well, you are done. I don't want to say pretty much. You are done. You look exhausted. It's been a long week, but it's worth it because the things that we're working on is very, very important. Rain's starting to pick up here in Ratcliffe now. You guys can probably hear it through the microphone. Helling and Huff, Kentucky. Thank you for the update there, Jessica. I appreciate you. The winds will continue to be gusty until probably tomorrow morning or so. I do want to check and see what the peak wind gusts have been so far. So mainly 45 to 55 mile per hour, but we know that this mesonet seems to underdo it a little bit most of the time. New severe thunderstorm warning has been issued. Again, this is going to be for Spencer, Shelby, Jefferson, and Bullock counties. Again, mainly for it's going to be 60 mile per hour wind gust. And this is the same cell that went into that radar site and we lost it. Now it's coming out of the radar site. We can start to see it a little bit better. This is why the severe warning should have been continued through here, but it was not. Because it was likely producing the same amount of weather that it is now here. But apples and oranges, I suppose. But again, your two severe warnings here are going to be on the eastern side of Jefferson County, stretching down to Bullock County. Then as it reaches up toward Shelbyville, Simpsonville, Mount Washington, main threats here, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. I think it's hailing outside a little bit here. Let me check. No, not really. Little hell core, by the way, just the north of Shepherdsville. Bowling Green's fine. Yeah, it'll be at Mount Washington in about 15 minutes. Yes, Radcliffe's fine. Again, these are the only. This right here on my screen is the only spot where severe weather is likely going to be possible over the next 30 minutes. Everywhere else, the storm is weakening. So if you do not see yourself on my screen, right there, there's nothing for you to really worry about. You're going to continue to hear loud thunderstorms, folks. You're going to continue to hear loud wind gusts. You're going to see bright lightning, but none of that really means severe weather. Maddox with a $2 donation, I appreciate that. Says, what radar are you using? It is WeatherWise. You can go to weatherwise.app, use it in your browser, or download it on any device there. Lexington, Kentucky, no real severe threat. Cecilia Vine Grove is fine. Steve, thank you for that report out of Brownsville. Small and light hail in Louisville. Thank you for that report there. Raining hard and crazy wind in Raineyville. Kayla, thank you very much, my friend. Crestwood, Kentucky has a severe warning for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. The wind is wild and Radcliffe. That's the cold front. Eastview, you're likely just feeling the wind gust right now. Again, the only spots of real concern at this moment are on my screen. If you do not see yourself, you're not at any real concern at the moment. There's no rotation anywhere, Steve. Thank you, DJ, and I appreciate that, my friend. It's monsooning in Hillview, Kentucky. Yes, lots of heavy rainfall with this. But the good thing is it's going to be very thin rainfall, so we're not really having any worries about flash flooding or anything like that. Yes, Hillview's okay. Jacinda, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hillview, you just got some strong wind gusts coming through right now, 60 mile per hour winds. I want to reiterate that. Strong thunderstorm activity throughout Hardin County as well as Grayson County going through down to Brownsville. Some strong wind gusts down there. Not quite severe level winds. That actually might be severe level winds. That you might see a severe warning come out here. We probably need a severe warning for Brownsville heading toward Mumfordville. So just a heads up for you folks down there, not severe warned, but I am seeing some evidence to support a severe warning down there. Just north of Brownsville, heading toward Bonneville along I-65 here and in Sonora. So this bulk of the line is beginning to pulse back up once again here. Severe warning has been updated in Louisville. Maximum gust is now 70 mile per hour for the Linden, Jeffersontown, Douglas Hills, and Crestwood areas in Louisville. Again, that warning has been updated to 70 mile per hour wind gusts. Let me check in on that. I don't know. There's the thunder. Again, I want to thank everyone that's tuning in here with us. Thank you to all the new followers and subscribers. I appreciate you guys a ton. Thank you for sharing the broadcast too. Still seeing all those numbers go up is incredible. Thank you for your support and helping us to spread this information to as many folks as possible. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. What about Bowling Green? Once again, Bowling Green has just seen a strong thunderstorm. Yeah, lots of lightning in the central Hardin County area, so you're hearing a lot of thunder there. Trust me, I can hear it outside my window right now. I'm sure you guys can too. ETA for Cave City is about 30 minutes, for whoever asked about that. Yes, once this line is past you, you are in the clear. You can send me a video, Billy, on our Facebook page, Weather Now Kentucky on Facebook. You can DM me a video. Louisville strong to severe thunderstorms ongoing there right now. 70-mile-per-hour wind gust is the main threat there, which is damaging winds for that area. It's just rain, Caitlin. It's okay. ETA for LaRue, probably about 25 to 35 minutes. We also have that LaRue County camera there we're going to look at whenever that storm approaches. Where is my camera scene? There it is. Let's go and scoot that up. So we have that camera there in LaRue County that we can try to view if we have any lightning to view off of. I don't know if Cam, are you in here by chance? If you could scoot that camera up for me, that would be great. I don't know if Cam is happening to just be in here. So thank you for that report there. Yeah, anyone can go to sleep. This is not anything that's like remotely like life-threatening, folks. You can feel free to go to bed. You just know you're probably gonna get woken up by lightning. I do not, KY, but I'll try to work on getting those for the next broadcast for you. Back in on our velocities here, make sure everything's still going okay. Still seeing a wall of 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds throughout all of Jefferson, stretching down into Bullitt County, going out toward Newcastle, Eminence, and LaGrange. Elsewhere, nice wall of winds in Hardin County as well, but not as impressive as what's occurring up there in Jefferson. And then down here for Bowling Green, our folks in South Central Kentucky, a nice wall of winds there too, but again, nothing to really write home about. Once again, the main focus is absolutely up here in North Central Kentucky. Yeah, Taryn, I think I'm going to turn that. I think I got it to where the camera should be. We'll continue to watch that storm as it comes in there to LaRue County. You're pointing east. Oh my goodness! I wish there was a directional thing to do here. I'll keep going. You guys from LaRue County, tell me when. I think that's. Oh yeah, I can see it now. I can see it now. Go a little bit more there. Yep, I can see it now. Okay. Now we're starting to really see those lightning flashes. If you look in the corner of that camera there. Yeah, there we go. So again, this is the camera from LaRue County. We're going to be able to see this come in live here as this starts to get closer to LaRue County in about 20 to 30 minutes there. Yeah, I think we got it now, Mason, right? Yeah, I'm not from LaRue County, so I wouldn't know. But the cameras that we're going to have is going to be able to actually have the directions with it. It's going to be great. Let me text Cam back real quick. There you go, Madison. Yes, I am. Bowling Green is completely fine. That's north. Okay. We need to go a little bit more. I kind of want to keep it on north, and then we're going to turn it to the west because I'm seeing a lightning show to the north out there. Let's do this. Right there's probably fine, right? That's like northwest, right? Okay. Thank you, Cam. Yeah, I'm actually going to keep continuing to look north because right now we could probably see what's happening. Yeah, we're seeing it in Elizabethtown right now. This lightning show that you're seeing, let me go ahead and pull us back onto the main cam here from Telecast Communications. What you're seeing right now is what's happening up in all the lightning that's in Hardin County, in central Hardin County. Up there, if you watch for just a second, I'm sure it'll pop up again. There it goes. And then when the storm gets a little bit closer to Hodgeville, we'll turn this a little bit more west. Yeah, thank you, Mason. Thank you, Cam. That's really cool. I can't wait. I cannot wait to do what we're about to do, man. It's going to be an insane game changer. Anything for Barstown? Looking at some strong thunderstorm activity in that area in about 40 minutes, but shouldn't be quite severe. Again, still looking at 60 to 65 mile per hour winds stretching all the way from Eminence to Newcastle, Little Grange, back over toward central Metro Louisville there. And then once again down here from Mount Washington to Seatonville, seeing some 60 mile per hour wind gusts there. Elsewhere, we are seeing some 55 mile per hour winds that should be heading toward LaRue County here in the next 20 minutes or so there. Some nice 50 mile per hour winds from Bowling Green to Brownsville, overstretch over toward Bonnieville, Mumfordville, Horse Cave, Cave City, so on and so forth. But none of this down here is severe. By the way, we do have, I almost missed this out of the corner of my eye, we do have a severe warning up here for the Florence area heading up here towards Cincinnati and Newport, Kentucky. Let's go ahead and read the bulletin here. This is going to be for 60 mile per hour wind gusts. There is also a tornado possible tag on this as well for Kenton, Campbell, Boone, Hamilton counties, as well as Clermont County in the southwestern Ohio. Let's go ahead and look at the thing that sucks here. It's going into another radar gap. Don't really see a whole. There's a little bit of rotation there, just to the south of Cincinnati Metro into Newport, Kentucky. There, very, very little amount. Not really a hell core there either. That's going to head out of Kentucky very soon. But just wanted to touch on that for you folks up there in Florence, up towards Cincinnati, Taylor Mill, and Fort Thomas there. 60 mile per hour wind gust, the main threat there. Checking back in here to Louisville once more. Looks like the wind gusts are beginning to calm down a little bit there, back down to 60 mile per hour for eastern Jefferson County, heading out toward, read the bulletin here real quickly again, heading out toward Shelby and Trimble counties there. No, Bishop, because I'm not really seeing any rotation right now, so you don't really have to treat these like they're tornado warnings at the moment. I'm going to, let me see here. You'll see the lightning off in the distance, and that's going to be Elizabethtown. You can see in the distance there. This is pointing kind of northwest now. Let's go ahead and turn this west and see what we're seeing as it comes into Hodgenville. I'm west now, right? Yep, I can see the cloud deck. You can actually see it. Great camera cam. You can actually see the shelf cloud rolling through, the wall cloud there, if you will. I don't know if you guys, just under that black bar there. This is the storm rolling into Hodgenville. We do have a new severe warning now. This is going to be for south. Wow, this one's turned it up, huh? That's not. Right here for Woodburn. Exiting off I-65, they're heading toward Alvinton, going up here towards Settle, Three Forks, Berry Store, Rocky Hill, Finney. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, the main threat here. Again, looking at that threat in south central Kentucky, just to the south of Bowling Green. This will miss Bowling Green, by the way. This is going to head toward Glasgow as this heads off to the northeast here. So now we have four severe warnings once again. We mentioned that this might pulse up and down. I didn't really think it would. But when you're dealing with cold core setups like this, this can just pulse up and down, off and on, over and over and over again. Oh, I just realized you guys I'm on the wrong scene there. Oops, sorry about that. I gotta get me a stream deck. Now I'm starting to have too many things to do on the mouse. Expand the map, we will shortly. Never got the E-Town warning. There was never a warning in Elizabethtown. Check back in down here once more. Okay, there I actually see it. So I guess from now on, we'll use the Nashville radar for Scottsville and Bowling Green because that was definitely not showing up on this radar. So for now, we'll use this radar. Yeah, strong thunderstorm just to the north of Scottsville. This will miss Scottsville, though. And again, this will track off to the northeast down there toward Glasgow. Why is there a dot on your location? It's probably from a radar site. These dots are radar sites. Check back in on these storms up here north central Kentucky real quick. What the world? Still seeing a wall of 55 to 60 mile per hour winds stretching from Mount Washington, J-Town, and Greenspring up toward Crestwood, LaGrange, Newcastle, Eminence, Simpsonville, and Shelbyville. Still seeing some nice winds up here for the northern Kentucky area. This might be a 70 mile per hour warning soon. Some very nice winds up here toward Highland Heights, just to the south of Cincinnati into Covington, Taylor Mill, Edgewood, and just to the east of Florence. We have a new severe warning now. This is going to be impacting. Oh, wait, it's the same warning. It just got expanded or trimmed off. I mean, sorry. I saw that flash and thought it was a new one, but they just trimmed off the backside. See, I love that the NWS Global does that. I wish our other offices would do that. If it's not needed, don't put it out. Trim it off. Again, if you're looking for forecast information on what to expect through the night, all that is already on our Twitter and Facebook for you to check. It's also on our YouTube. But right now, we're focused on what's actually happening. For those of you in LaRue County, I am pointed west on that camera, right? I am looking west on that camera. Here, I'll pull it up on the big screen for you guys to see. I am pointed west, though, right? I think so. I can see the deck of the clouds there. About 45 mile per hour, Jack. I'm still north? Oh my goodness. Can I like lock it in here? No, I'm timed out. No. Hang on. Oh, I see. That's the okay. Okay, I got you. We'll leave it right there. That should be good enough to see most of it. Yeah, I see that, Cam. That's on the east leg. I wonder if some point you can probably move that to the west one. Because most of your storms are going to come from the west. But I see why you do that, so you get a view on the actual main road there. I see your perspective. We'll leave that there. We should be able to still see a good chunk of that as that enters in. I guess I could try to turn it completely around and go to southwest. Nope, you just saw a big lightning strike there, so we're good. We'll leave it there. Is there a camera in Louisville? There will be soon. 20, really? Wow. That's a great camera, man. I really wasn't sure what to expect since we're at nighttime, but it's illuminating pretty well. The lightning strikes are definitely helping, but it's illuminating pretty well. Okay, checking back in on velocities here, because I know the rotation is the biggest aspect of questions right now. Nice wall of winds. Don't really see rotation here, but if they put this warning out for 70 mile per hour, this should probably be 70 mile per hour winds here. Let's go ahead and check. Yeah. Yeah, right along that line there, you're seeing 65. Again, this is going to be for Settle, Halifax, Alvaton, Pope, Finney, Rocky Hill, Berry Store, Three Forks, Kentucky, down there, very southern portions of the state. Up here for the Louisville area, those winds are really starting to die down up there. Still seeing 55 mile per hour winds spread throughout these two warning boxes, but nothing too remarkable. Yeah, Karen, I'll wake her up for a warning that dies down. Then she gets mad at me. Update on E-Town, please. The worst has passed you. You're fine. The worst has passed you. This storm is really falling apart here. Look at that cloud deck. All that scut there. These storms I've wanted to rotate all day long. There's just not enough. There's not enough energy at play for them to really get rooted. You just look at the cloud deck there, and this is why cameras are really important, guys. We can see exactly what's happening. Radar is one thing, and it's great, but the cameras just allow us to see exactly what's happening. It's just an incredible amount of information that we can get by just looking at those clouds right there. Again, if you're just not tuning in here with us, again, we do have that one's kind of exiting the state, so we're going to kind of head and just knock that one off. We do have 3 severe warnings throughout the state right now for North Scottsville heading towards South Warren County. Again, that's heading out to the northeast toward Glasgow there. And then, of course, up here for the Louisville area. The storm line is still just, I mean, it's just packing. You've seen the wind start to ramp back up again from Crestwood to J-Town to Simpsonville to Mount Washington. Winds are starting to pick back up once again there. Again, and sometimes in these setups, you're going to have these storms just hang on for no reason. Like, for example, there's just not a whole lot of energy for this to work with anymore. There's almost no cape available except for down here in very far southern Kentucky. There's still a lot of bulks here and whatnot to work with, but I do want to look at one thing. There's one thing that I'm not looking at. Okay, there's still a lot of surface vorticity. That's probably what this is holding on to. Take another look around here. I want to see if we see any hell cores real quickly as well. Right, so no hell core really down there. Maybe some small hills. Maybe some small hill. We might be able to see this. Let's real quick. Well, if I turn this camera south, well, I'll just be straight up looking at the tower there, Cam. Because if we might be able to see this from your camera if we could turn it south. That would be kind of cool. All right. And this warning down here for Pope, Halifax, Yessie. These names on here are ridiculous. Settle, Three Forks, Berry Store, Finney. Again, 60 mile per hour wind gust the main threat there, but there's also a tornado possible tag on it as well. I don't really see a whole lot of rotation there to support that, but again, there is a nice wall of winds on that eastern edge of the cell there. Throughout Shepherdsville down to Lebanon Junction, E-Town, Hodgenville, Sonora, Bonneville, pretty much along the I-65 line there, we're really beginning to see those storms really begin to die down there. Again, not as much of a severe threat and now for these areas, and I don't really foresee these ramping back up right here. Up here in northern Kentucky, these storms are still hanging on. Somehow, some way, still hanging on to their severe threat for Newcastle, imminent, Shelbyville, heading back out toward Mount Washington, Crestwood, and LaGrange. 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts, the main threat there for those locations. Again, we're starting to see the advancements of this storm beginning to really die down, and I don't expect another pulse up after this. I really don't. Just no more energy at play for these things to really rock off of. See here where the lightning is. The lightning is pretty much exactly due west of Ogdenville right now. Jack, no. Yes, Eastview is fine for the night. Samurai, thank you for the update out of Oklahoma. I appreciate that. In Alvaton, the rain is crazy and the wind is rocking our house. Yeah, there's definitely some 60 mile per hour wind gusts on going down there. Is Alvaton the one that's in this box? Yeah. I definitely got a 65 mile per hour gust there about 7 or 8 minutes ago. Definitely some rocking winds down there for Alvaton. Bowling Green is fine. Is the worst is past you. Mumfordville is fine. Yes. No, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Had hell in Shepherdsville for a good moment or two. Appreciate that update there. Have any tornadoes touched down? I do not believe so, my friend. I haven't seen anything on radar that indicates that anyway. Held like crazy near Eastwood Simpsonville for about 30 seconds. Seems to be past. Yeah, the hell cores are very small, thankfully, right now. It's mainly just the wind gusts up to 55 to 60 mile per hour. That's the main threat. Thank you, Kelly, my friend. I appreciate you, man. Smiths Groves is a little bit too far north for this warning there. No real severe threat in Smiths Grove. Scottsville, you're just to the south of this severe warning. Probably going to feel some severe or some strong wind gusts over the next 30 to 45 minutes. Yes, E-Town's good for the night. Hardin County's good for the night. Again, you're going to consider. By the way, what I mean by good for the night, just to reiterate for some folks that might be newer to us, is that the severe threat is pretty much over. You're still going to see thunderstorm activity. You're still going to see lightning. You're still going to see some wind gusts up to 50 mile per hour, but none of those are severe levels. Jennifer, I'm sorry to hear that, my friend. Major rain in Hodgeville. I see that now. Here's a storm as it's coming in Hodgeville. See how just how foggy it looks just because of the rain that's just pounding down there. Big lightning strike there. We zoom? Oh my goodness, we can. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is going to be perfect. Okay, this is live as the storms enter into Hodgeville. Thank you to Telecast Communications for providing the camera there for us to view tonight as these storms enter into their area. Again, it's definitely on the weaker trend as opposed to what it was back there in Grayson County and back out there in West Central Kentucky. But again, kind of gives you a view of what's happening right now as these storms enter or go across I-65. I-65, I should say. Sorry. I've been on live broadcast for way too long here. Has a crazy amount of zoom. I can't wait to get like a daytime storm for this stuff. How's Louisville, Kentucky looking? By far okay. Owenton, Kentucky, for whoever was asking about that, you're going to have this strong to severe thunderstorm enter your area in about 40 minutes or so, the actual main core of it anyway. It should be weaker by the time it gets there, but we'll keep an eye on it for you. Oh, I completely forgot about bringing my YouTube chat back up. Godsmack, thank you for that report out of Shepherdsville. I appreciate that. Anywhere on LaGrange or Crestwood, again, severe thunderstorm warning there. 60 mile per hour wind gust, the main threat for the next 15 to 20 minutes. E-Town is clear. You got about 15 to 20 more minutes till it's out of Scottsville. Just hitting LaGrange. Jonathan says, thank you for the report there. What about Sparta, Kentucky? I just answered that for Owenton. It's 60 mile per hour wind gust, the main threat there, in about 30 to 40 minutes. Leah, it'll be a much weaker form of what it is now, just looking at mainly just rains. Radcliffe is clear, my friend. Okay, we have reached the portion of the night where Cranky George is coming out. You've been warned. Any trolls will be immediately banned. I think 3 hours is like my mark on broadcast. Storming here in Florence, Kentucky. Yeah, the worst of it is past you at this point. Lawrenceburg and Frankfurt areas, these storms should be weakening by the time they get to you, but you will still see strong thunderstorm activity. Someone get him a fish sandwich. The wind in E-Town is crazy. The wind is going to continue to be elevated, guys, between 40 to 50 mile per hour until that cold front gets fully through. I'm trying to see if I can catch a lightning strike on the camera. How about Smiths Grove? Too far north of this initial severe warning down here, but you will still feel 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts throughout the next 15 minutes. There you go, Destiny. There you go. Check back in once again on our velocities here. And nothing of any major concern. Still some solid 45 to 50 mile per hour wind gust out there. Up here for the Louisville areas, heading out to the northeast or Newcastle, Campbellsburg, and Imminence. Definitely some 60 mile per hour wind gusts still ongoing there. The bulk of the stronger storms up here for northern Kentucky have now exited out toward Ohio at this point. Checking down here on our storm toward the Tennessee-Kentucky border. Looks like that one is beginning to weaken as well, as that little peak right there is just above 60, but that's a lot smaller than what it was. So our storms are weakening as forecasted. Remember, we made this picture earlier. Let me pull it up for you real quickly. We made this picture earlier, basically indicating that storms would die down as these get toward that pink line and start to exit. And if we look at where we're at now, it's almost perfectly timed out. So storms should really be on that weakening trend over the next, throughout the duration of the storm, I should say. Yes, Brianna, you're still really good to go in Nelson County. Okay, this person's getting timed out. I've already answered that place numerous times. Again, I do not mind to answer your place, but if I've already answered it and you're just spamming it, I'm just going to mute. I'm not going to ban anyone, but I'm just going to mute because I want to be able to see all the questions from all the locations. And if so just for perspective, so you guys can kind of see here on YouTube, I can only see about 3 comments at a time. So just for some perspective there. So if I don't get to your question the first time, it's not. I promise it's not because I'm ignoring you. It's because I can only see a certain little bit here on YouTube. Again, I can see more, so that's why I'm being able to answer more on YouTube. Again, Northern Kentucky, the worst is past you for far Northern Kentucky. You still have this cell right here that's producing 60 mile per hour wind gust toward Imminence, Newcastle, stretching back toward Simpsonville, and it's going to be exiting toward Owenton and Sparta here very, very soon. No rotation anywhere. Thank you, Becky. I appreciate that. Yep, Horse Cave is still fine. Just going to see some crazy winds, or it's just some 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts throughout the overnight hours here. Thundering in Smithfield, thank you for that report, Bryce. I appreciate you, my friend. I got a severe cell down here in Nashville. I just want to take. I know this isn't Kentucky, but I just want to take a look at this. Wow, that thing really got much more south than what the models indicated. Like much more. Wind is dying down now in Shepherdsville. Thank you for that report there. Thanks for the stream, Michael. No problem. I appreciate you, my friend. Check back in on our camera here from LaRue County. Thanks to the telecast. Fortunately, looks like the rain is starting to get on it now. We need some winds to knock those raindrops off down there. I wonder if they make, dude, I don't know if they make something like this, but like wiper blades for cameras would be insanely innovative. I don't know how exactly that would work with like the lenses, and I was like all kinds of film and stuff on the lenses, but I don't know. Yeah, Vanda, this storm line is really dying down now. Really dying down now. You can see a lot of the reds have gone away, except for some small spots. No purples involved anywhere. Again, really dying down. I kind of want to turn this camera back to the north. It looks like if we could turn this to the north, we might be able to see some lightning strikes. Oh, did I get timed out again? Yeah, hang on. Yeah, let's leave it right there toward that. Was that a cell tower there? Yeah, I know it's kind of hard to see, guys, because obviously it's pouring down rain there. It's not going to be as great of quality as it was earlier, but it's still really cool to see. And whenever those lightning strikes pop up, we'll be able to see a lot better. Am I expecting us to have severe weather for the remainder of the spring? Yeah, we carry a severe threat until about mid-May. That's just always how it is in Kentucky. It's how it usually goes. Now, last year it went well into May. The year before that, we had storms all through June and July. Um, but yeah, we'll always carry a severe risk, pretty much no matter of the trends until at least mid-May. I think roll offs or tear offs are the thing for cameras. You think? Look into that. Will the cameras for Kentucky have audio? Probably not. I don't think there's really I don't think there's really like a microphone that's made for something like that. Any microphone we put on that would probably just be almost immediately obliterated by the time the first storm comes through there. Is snow still expected in the morning? Let's go ahead and take a look at that for you guys real quickly. So here's our storms now. Let's go ahead and pull us up to the precept type here. Now this is just one model I'm glancing at real quick, so this is going to look real easy, but as you can see, not really a whole lot. Even if you do see snow tomorrow, it's probably just going to spit a few flakes and then call it a day. Mainly out there for mainly along and east of I-65 tomorrow. So no real snow threat tomorrow, but maybe a few flakes to fly around. Yes, that was a tower in the distance. May Roanoke Tower, so you saw. Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Refresh the radar here. I like to refresh it every once in a while. You still have that severe warning up here for Newcastle, Imminence along Highway 421 there. Check on the velocities there. Still seeing some widespread 55 to 60 mile per hour wind gusts, but I imagine they'll probably allow this warning to expire here soon for that area. Whenever that eventually expires in 19 minutes, I don't think we'll see a new warning come out for that. Check down here in just to the north of Scottsville. Nice wall of winds there on that very eastern edge of the storm. That's probably just indicating an outflow is starting to be laid, so that storm should begin to weaken here soon. And then a nice little wall of winds up here as well, but again, it's just outflow winds. These storms should be on, or are actually on, the weakening trend now. Again, the warning down here for someone who asks is going to be for Barron County, Warren County, and Allen County. That's got 4 minutes left. And then the warning up here is going to be for Shelby and Henry counties, as well as Oldham County. It has 19 minutes left. Mount Sterling, this storm will be incredibly different by the time it gets to you. It'll be much weaker. Probably looking at 35 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts in about 3 to 4 hours. All right. I think that's going to do it for our live coverage, guys. Again, I know we have 2 severe warnings here, but this one's probably going to be allowed to expire and not be renewed. And this one may be renewed, but it's got 20 minutes on it, and it probably won't. And we're seeing just an overall weakening trend here. And we really save our broadcasts for the actual really imminent threats. And while the storms will sound rowdy for the rest of the night, they're not going to be anything to really write home about. And again, nothing is going to be life threatening. So again, I think at this point it's probably okay to go ahead and end the broadcast because there's nothing life threatening, nothing really emergent about this. The storms are all on the weakening trend, despite the couple of severe warnings that you see here. Now, of course, I will continue to post radar snippets for you and little details on our Facebook and Twitter pages, Weather Now Kentucky, on both Facebook and Twitter, as well as YouTube. So you won't miss out on any information. I'm just going to actually end the broadcast. Again, thank you everyone that followed tonight, all the new subscribers and followers, everyone that's supporting us. We appreciate you guys. And of course, until next time, you stay safe, folks. Thank you to all your kind words. I'm seeing them come through the chat now. Thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. And of course, until next time, stay safe, friends.